Hello and welcome to another episode of the Uncommon Energy Podcast. On this week's episode, we're going to be talking about TPCI, the Pokemon Company International, banning the sale of graded cards and more items at their official events, regional, international, and world championships. We will talk about the Pokemon TCG 30th anniversary set reveals. Some pretty interesting cards, honestly, but also very cool reprints that longtime fans of the game will very much be excited about. We will, of course, have Guess That Flavor Text, everyone's favorite segment to the podcast. And we're going to wrap up this week by recapping the Indianapolis Regional Championships, looking at the decks that did well, the decks that won, and look ahead to the Turin special event, special championships, and the Japan championships, which are both taking place this coming weekend. And then we will, of course, have our bonus episode exclusive to our YouTube channel members and Spotify subscribers. My name is Chipper Chi. I'm joined here, as always, by my friend and co-host, Azul GG. What's up, Azul? How we doing, buddy? How has your past week been?
Pretty good, Chip. Actually, one thing that I kind of just had made an observation of as we're about to talk about three different formats. Indie
Yes.
last format. We're currently in the Chaos Rising format. That's what Turn's going to be played in, which it's been a long time since the NAIC format was played at a major the week before NAIC, so that'll be interesting. And then Japan's playing in the pitch black format. I feel like this has happened once recently, but I think the results from India are like still pretty relevant going into Chaos Rising because the format doesn't change too much. But I was watching the Indianapolis Regional Championships over the weekend. I have been sick since I got back from Melbourne. So I haven't streamed until I got back on what Monday. I didn't stream until Saturday and Sunday for Indy, and then I haven't streamed Monday or today because I still been. I think the lack of sleep over the weekend from restreaming the event caught up with me while being sick. So I felt really, really bad actually. Like for the first half of the day, yesterday and today, so I didn't stream. But hopefully, gonna get back to streaming tomorrow. I played zero Chaos Rising format games, so that's what I'm looking forward to. Did you catch Game 7 at all?
Dude, I did. We were watching it Saturday night. It felt so great to
It's
see the
insane.
Thunder
Yeah.
lose, man. It
It
did. Oh, it was incredible.
was a good game too. It was a good back and forth. Um, very, I guess, satisfying end to the win there. It'll be interesting to see if the Knicks can actually keep up as well. I think the expectation, I don't know what the betting line is, but I don't know what Vegas says is the favorite. I assume the Spurs are the favorite though, like
Yeah.
for sure, right? But Knicks, they've had their feet up the last couple days, resting, getting ready, for the match. So they got the I don't know the prep time advantage or like the rest time advantage going into the first couple games, probably.
The Spurs are currently 4.5 point favorites.
Um, how much?
4.5 points.
How big of an advantage is that? I don't even know what that is. Is that close?
That's like that's like they are, I would say,
Expected to win, but not
solid. They're maybe not solidly favored. They're decently favored.
60-40?
Yeah, maybe something like that.
Okay, okay.
Is what the money says, at least at the moment.
Yeah, I hope it's an exciting series. Like from what I've watched of the playoffs so far, I expect the Spurs to beat them. But yeah, I hope it's an exciting series, a back and forth series, game 7 maybe. But you were in Indy this weekend. You played. Also, I was wondering if you're gonna make it on stream because I feel like the last two times you're on winning in, you did make your way on stream, and you did get to the phase 2 this time. Congrats, Chip, with the Hydra Apple. Why'd you go with the Apple for the weekend?
Yeah, thanks, man. So I was really kind of leaning towards playing Raging Bolt. I talked about it a little bit on the podcast last week. I think
Yeah,
a
you
lot of
seemed
people,
like you were
yeah,
convinced.
I think if I had to submit a deck Tuesday night when we recorded the podcast, I would have submitted a Raging Bolt list. But the deck just the more I like got closer to the event, it just like felt very fine. It didn't feel like anything exciting or over the top. I knew it was also going to be a probably pretty popular pick. It does feel pretty good into Dragapult. Even with the Moltres, I still think it feels pretty good. I was actually going to play double Clefairy if I had played it, which I think is decent against Dragapult, but also is pretty good against the mirror because it lets you be the aggressor more often, which is so much of what that mirror comes down to. Like you can Cyrano and then do an energy switch play to like take the first knockout in theory with Clefairy, which could let you keep up in tempo. So I think I did kind of like that list, but I played the Apple a little bit on live the couple days leading up to the tournament, and I really started playing it kind of a lot on like Wednesday and Thursday. And it's really the type of deck I've always kind of liked where it's like you establish just a really strong board and force your opponent to find an answer to it, basically. And that's what Hydrapple does. And I mean, Hydrapple is a huge Pokemon, 330 HP, and it does not care what it's going up against. It's going to one hit KO the active. So I just kind of was vibing with that. And Grant and I played a bunch of games Friday at Indianapolis of the Moltres Hammers Dragapult build matchup, and it felt pretty close. I think we probably went just about even in games. We probably played like between 8 and 10 games, went just about even. And so that was enough for me to be like, you know what, I'll just lock this in and went with it. I actually did I posted a YouTube video on my personal channel and did like a full tournament report where I went round by round and talked about all my matchups. If anyone is interested in hearing that, my YouTube channel is just Chip Ritchie, and I basically don't ever post videos, but I did post this one. So if you want to check that out, it's over there to find.
Yeah, I'm looking at your list. You said you use the same list as someone from Melbourne, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
right? Is
top
that where you got
16
the
list from Shinosuke Sato. The only difference is I changed the Applins. That's why it doesn't show up as like the same deck. He played the ones that just do the clean 20, and I played the 10 plus flip for 20 more.
Badoo
I don't
killers?
think it really matters that much. It was more like, is there a chance that the uh not having the clean 20 could matter, and I didn't think it was super likely. It definitely could have happened. It actually, in
Yeah.
a TCG live game, it did matter one time, and you'll never guess what matchup it was.
Uh,
Okie dokie.
oh, would you hit it for, like
If
do
you hit
for
it
what?
for 20, it has 210 HP remaining, which is a much better number than 220 HP remaining
You can
if you
have
just hit it for 10. And it literally came up where I started Applin and Flip Tails, and so then I had to get an extra energy to KO it.
Yeah. I hadn't played any games with the Hydrapple deck. The thing that scared me when I compared it to, like, the Arbor Lever deck is, like, the Arbor Lever build plays so many more Poke Pads.
Mhm,
But it feels like the adjustment is like your bug catching sets hit grass energy more often, which means you
mhm.
draw more cards with teal mask. So that's kind of like the trade off. Because I think like the Arbor builds were playing like 12 grass and like 3 to 4 Pokepad. Like I'm looking at your list right now, and you only had like the one Pokepad. I never get given it a shot, but I actually did play some games with Hydrapple at Melbourne, just like the day before the tournament
Yeah, and
last
I
weekend.
didn't really do I think this was also another thing too. I feel like in the past, I've maybe tried to force things a little too much at regionals whenever I was, like, trying to cook my own list up, and this time I was like, "You know what? This list looks good. I'm just gonna go with it. It feels good." But I will say, looking at we'll talk more about this when we talk about indie, I actually really like the list from Hector Ibarra, who got top 32. He has a much thicker Apple line, and he also has one Festival Grounds, and he also has the Petrol over the Cypher Maniac. He does have less energy, which I don't know if I don't know. I mean, I think you kind of like need to do that to fit a little bit more of what he did
Yeah.
here. He's got the
Also one
Judge
less
as an option
ultra.
too, but um I actually kind of like a lot about the stuff that he's got going on this list. I think a surprise Festival Grounds against a Dragapult, like if they don't
Yeah.
have a Monkey Dory on their bench, you're just gonna take two prizes, right? Um,
Yeah.
which
That
is
is a
pretty
cute
cool.
inclusion.
And most often you're using Cypher Maniac to set up for an unfair stamp play. So just shortcutting that, going to Petrol. Petrol also finds you the Festival Grounds, right? So you Meowth for those pieces. I
I
actually really
don't
do kind of
like
like this list.
I don't like the 3 teal mask because I feel like teal mask is such a big part of your, like, cycling of your deck. Like, decreasing your odds of, like, opening one or finding one or bug catching set into one, like, that is, like, the one thing. It's like, I would play 5 in, like, every Meganium deck if I could.
Yeah, I definitely
Um,
like the 4 teal mask as well.
But, yeah, the rest of the inclusions are definitely interesting. Some
I
cool
just like
ads.
this list went like a little bit deeper that I like didn't do right. I just kind of took a list that
Yeah,
had done well. I didn't like go that extra step deeper, um but yeah, 160th place, nothing like uh it's nothing to like scoff at, but it's nothing to be like super, I don't know. I'm happy with it. I'm glad I made
yeah.
it into day 2, but like
If you were competing, you'd have higher expectations for yourself, I'm
for
sure.
sure, for sure.
Yeah. But not bad for a casting pokey dad, right, at the end of the day, so,
Retired.
yeah.
And
I think you
listen,
made a
I'm never gonna pretend like I was some like incredible Pokemon TCG player back when I was competing at Worlds. I played the decks I liked and I had a couple of decent tournament runs. I had plenty of poor tournament runs. I just enjoyed playing the game, and it did feel really good to be competing in a day 2 again compared to like, the last couple of years. Whenever I've played at regionals, I'm, usually done after day 1. So just like that higher level of competition during day 2, I definitely felt this time, which was fun. It was a bit of a bummer though that it was only 5 rounds in phase 2, 4 rounds for
yeah.
day 2. Just under the number of players needed for the extra Swiss round, which is really I think kind of just a terrible oversight.
Yeah, what is there has gotta, like but it's gotta be on purpose, right? It feels like it has to be on
I think it's
purpose.
a terrible oversight.
Maybe.
So
Well, I guess because like, yeah, if they don't feel like they can have the space for the number, but they don't think about because they don't need that many more seats for
for those who don't know, if
yeah,
there
go
are
ahead.
2,048, I want to say it is, players in a
Yeah.
division, you get a sixth round of Swiss in phase 2. But if there's less than 2,048 players, you only get 5 rounds of Swiss in phase 2. And the last 2 tournaments seemingly have been capped right around 2,000 players, which after, no shows or cancels or whatever in the last week leads to it not hitting that 2,048 player mark, meaning we get one less round, and also meaning that X21 does not make cut. So you can get into phase 2 and not make it into top cut.
Yeah. I mean, I think that part is, like, fine. I think we had talked about this previously. Like, I'm like, if X2 is the cutoff, that's fine. I think
Mhm.
it being worse than X2 is bad. Like, I think the margin for error is too high at that point. Obviously, like, that's, like, kind of opinion based. I will say that I did see some people, like, once it happened at Melbourne, I think, is when I started seeing people tweet about it because it happened at Melbourne as well, where Melbourne was just under but it was another round, removed, but it was just almost to the next round.
Yeah.
And then X21 did not make top cut at Melbourne either. I saw some people like tweeting about it, but it's like, uh, if you make phase two, I don't think you have to like because if they let people who like were at 4-4 make phase two, which they could do, and I wouldn't care if they did or didn't. Like those players shouldn't be able to make top cut. It's not about if you make phase two, you should be able to make top cut, and that's like everything that they pushed for recently with giving us more rounds back and stuff, or letting more players into phase two. It's just like letting more players play the game, basically. And it's like that's fine, but there's like the understanding that you might not be able to make top cut even if you make the phase two. So I don't think anything really needs to change. If they can give us another round at some point of Swiss back, like they already did in the middle of the season, it was in the middle of the season, right? Or was that the beginning? I forget. Might have been the
It was in
beginning
the
of the
middle
season.
of the season.
Like that'd be cool. And maybe if they figure out if they feel like they can do that, then they probably will. But as of right now, stuck with this many rounds. I think it's okay. 'Cause it is unfortunate that the event cap was put at a number where we are never going to be able to obtain that extra round of Swiss. Not just for Indy, but I guess also for Melbourne, and I guess also for LA. I didn't realize it happened at LA as well, but it did happen at LA. Where and LA was like
Yeah.
roughly this. It was like 19. It
Yeah.
was almost 1900. So it was like right there.
Yeah, but it spots sold out, right? It's like it would have
Yeah, yeah,
filled
yeah. Yeah,
whatever
so yeah,
spots they gave.
they just need like. Well, I guess for LA would have been 200 more people. Maybe that's a little bit much, but it was only like 100 more people for
I mean, they
Indy.
would have gotten 200 more players,
Oh yeah,
like
they would
for
have. Yeah, yeah,
sure.
yeah, for sure,
But
definitely.
it's
Oh
like
yeah, they would
harder
have
to
got
I
the
see what you're
Swiss.
saying, yeah.
Yeah. I guess, like, I think maybe and this is where I think it's like I'm kinda getting tired of people just, like, complaining about TPCI about everything. Like, I've been starting to call out people on Twitter when they say, like when they complain about something that TPCI did not say or, something that's just, like, not a problem. Because, like, we should hold TPCI accountable or gaming gen maybe more so when it makes sense, but we shouldn't just complain about every little thing that's not worth complaining about. Like, what are we doing? We just look like children. Um But LA, I think, and Indy were smaller than the last 2 LA and Indy regionals. So that's
They
kind of
were.
disappointing. That's that,
And
and I think that's worth calling out being like, "Okay, what are we doing here?" I thought we were like,
yeah,
because like, besides those 2 events, every consecutive event in the same location has been bigger for years now. Like,
yeah.
we've been progressing towards, like, plus like, I don't know, like, sometimes it's, like, 30, 40%, but even at, like, 20% increase, that's, like, a pretty good substantial increase, right? 20% year over year, event in the same location, same city, whatever. But then these 2 took a step back, which is a little disappointing to see. When the numbers are there, we could have had more people. No question about that.
Yeah, and I do wonder if it is more a gaming gen thing or a TPCI thing. I don't know where I don't wanna be the one to say, like,
Yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
should point fingers XYZ place, but
I have to imagine it has
there
to
are
be on
multiple
gaming gen a
parties at
bit.
work here for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think TPCI has well, that's why TPCI doesn't have their own, tournament organization in-house staff, right? Because they don't wanna worry about it, they wanna pay someone to do it. So I have to imagine it's more on gaming gen than TPCI. TPCI obviously has, like, a floor of expectations that they give to gaming gen, and then gaming gen goes out there with that in mind, but, and I'm sure there's some stuff that are, like, uncontrollable that happen, I'm sure, that leads to some of these tournaments being smaller than they were, but or than they could be. But there's some stuff that is probably within gaming's control that they're just making, like, a poor call on, like, the expectation for people to show up. So that was pretty disappointing to see the last couple tournaments be smaller than the last time we were in those cities, for sure.
I don't wanna spend too much time talking about my indie run because, I mean, it's 160th place 841, but did you look at my matchups at all yet?
No, I didn't peep the matches.
Alright, you see my round 2 loss?
Sarah Ledge, let's go. That's insane.
Dude, I was so I actually I really don't think the matchup is as bad as you would think just looking at it on paper.
Mm.
But I won game 1. I got my Chikorita got donked by a Lunatone game 2, which was not or a Solrock, excuse me, game 2. And
Wait, they chose second?
no, 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 he chose first.
Oh, you
But
just had nothing else.
I started Chikorita bug catching set. He already had a Solrock and I got
Yeah,
nothing and he had a
yeah,
Soul Rock active with an energy on it already. So I was like, all right. He didn't even knock me out. We're going to the next game.
yeah.
We had like, I think literally there was still like, because he scooped game 1 really quick. So I think there
Yeah,
was like 38 minutes left on the clock going into game 3, which is pretty funny. And then game 3,
good
of course, took
time.
like 20 minutes, but he ended up winning it. Um, and then on my winning end, I did hit the Garchomp on the winning end, which
Pretty good matchup?
it is a pretty good matchup. Shout outs to all my opponents as well. Everyone was super nice that I played against this weekend, but Alec here specifically, we sit down and he's like, we're talking it up before the game, and he's, talking like, oh, dude, I made it to my first ever winning in. I'm getting to play against you, Chip. This is such like a cool moment here. And then he puts his deck box on the table. It's a Garchomp deck box. He reaches in his backpack, puts a Garchomp plushie on the table. Oh, and then we both mulliganed after setting up, and he sees all the grass energy, and instantly I could tell, man. He said, "Oh, well, my first one of the day. I guess that makes sense."
Yeah.
So shout outs to Alec. He was a super nice guy and took the situation well. But I do think I did like 1,200 damage to a Gibble at some point in that game. So game 2 was a little closer, but yeah, it's a pretty good matchup for sure for the Hydrapple.
Definitely a one-sided one for sure. Yeah, we had a good run with the Apple. We were gonna talk about this last week actually, but we didn't end up talking about it. But you've actually had some experience with the PTCG Live build and battle, right?
Yeah.
I actually have not. Yeah, I haven't been on PTCG Live in a while, but that's like the cool new thing. So how did it go? What was the experience like?
Yeah, it's pretty fun, honestly. I mean, it's literally just like you're doing a pre-release. You get the build and battle kit, and then you just play against 5 random opponents who've also done it. I'm gonna be really interested to see what it's like starting next week because
Oh, the new
it
one will be out, right?
well, no, it's like a 2-week period with the new set, and then it'll be just like you'll get a random
Mm,
build and battle kit from who
got
knows what time frame.
yeah.
So I'll be interested to see what that is, and I will always, always, always be hoping to pull the Journey Together Hops Cramorant pack for sure. If
Oh
I
yeah, it's kind of just broken.
But it was fun. I've had fun doing it. I probably have done like 25 or so of the build and battle runs. Um,
95 winners.
oh yeah, yeah, definitely a couple times. And if you so everyone who logs into PTG Live, I think gets 10 tokens to use for a build and battle run. And if you win 3 out of 5, you get a token back.
Yeah. I
Um, so
think it's pretty easy to chain them for sure.
it very much is. And if you ever do run out, you can buy them in the shop very cheaply.
Yeah.
Um, for like purple, I think, for crystals.
I wonder how much that
Um,
adds to. I don't see anyone really talk about it anymore. Like how free, like the free to the whole system of like being able to play the game free to play. Like, does this add to it at all, or is the game already so free to play? It doesn't really matter.
I mean,
Or
it's
this would
probably
this be like a
it's
boost?
a pretty nice way to get the new cards, right?
Yeah,
Without, having to
true.
craft them necessarily, because you get a bunch of trainers and, some of the usually if there's, like, a good Pokemon in the set, it's one of the build and battle promos, so there's, like, a if you do a couple of them, um, you'll get, like, some of the new cards, so I think it's, I mean, after I was all said and done with it, I had 4 full art Prism Towers, uh, after doing a bunch of them, so, you can, 'cause you open up the 4 packs and stuff still too. And it's cool how it worked. They made it work so, like, you can play more than 4 of a card as well if you have more than 4 of a card, just like you can in a real pre-release format.
Yeah,
Um, I will also say it does feel really bad whenever, like, there's 4 different kits every set, and it kinda becomes apparent after playing with a bunch of them a bunch of times which ones are the better ones, which ones are the weaker ones, so
yeah.
it was a little bit of a bummer. I would say these 4 for Chaos Rising were all kind of close. None of them were, like, terrible, but I think the Ampharos one was definitely better than the other 3 by a decent margin. That's what my experience was, at least, and it was the easiest one to, put stuff that you pulled in alongside because its attack is a lightning colorless, so you can, like, add a new type, whereas if you have the Goodra kit, which is also pretty decent, it needs water psychic. And so, like, if you pulled something that was like a, grass type, you can't really
Hard to fit.
fit
Yeah,
that in, right?
makes sense. Makes sense.
But
Yeah,
yeah, it was fun. It was fun. You should give it a whirl or two before it finishes out.
yeah. Maybe we'll have
I'll be
some.
interested to see what it feels like though to play whenever it's like you can play against any build in battle kit.
Yeah, when it's like fully opened up to everyone, or not to everyone, to all the options of decks to play against.
Yeah.
I assume the newer ones will probably have a slight power edge. Maybe not though. I guess like we've had like some pretty good cards for quite a while, so maybe it'll be like okay.
I guess it depends on how far back they're gonna go with
Yeah, that
what
is
build
also
and
part
battle
of it.
kits. I wonder if they should do, like, only the ones that are current
Classic.
regulation marks and up or
Yeah, that
whatever, you
might be
know?
the best way to do it. Yeah, it'll be a little bit more within the similar power window.
Well, before we get into our first topic here, now that we're 20 minutes into the episode, do have to take a moment to take a little accountability here because last week I was very, very, very convinced that the Japan
Adamant.
Championships was the week after NAIC, when in fact it is the week before. It is this weekend. The
Yeah,
Japan Championships are happening. So I apologize. I was wrong.
wrong chip. Also, actually, one more thing worth mentioning. Someone mentioned it to me, I think, in my chat. We were questioning the Koffagrigus from the ninth place Slow King list
Mhm.
in Melbourne. The Koffagrigus puts the damage anywhere on your opponent's field, not their active Pokemon. So that's quite a bit better. And actually, like a situation that comes up pretty constantly in the Dragapult matchup is they punch your Kangaskhan for 200. So being able to like snipe their cat off the bench or something. I thought this only put on the active. So I thought this card was just, I was like, I just don't understand when this situation would come where you'd ever attack with this thing. Because the only deck that leaves damage in play is Dragapult. So putting 200 damage on a Dragapult seems kind of mid. But when you get to snipe their cat off the bench or something like that, that's actually not terrible.
Yeah, I sat next to Grant one round in day 2, and he played against, Slowking.
Mhm.
It was very funny to watch unfold because he didn't there was one turn where he retreated his Dragapult with, like, 220 damage on it and thought it was safe, and then it got Spectria'd, and,
Let's go.
he just was like he picked up the card and read it after the guy did it, and he, like, just took his Dragapult, very gingerly picked it up and placed it in the discard pile. He's like, "Yep, I was hoping to hang on to you."
Oh, that actually is a cool line. You can go like Kirim Clefairy,
Yeah.
snipe the Lokes, punch the active, and then Spectre or cleanup. Because I was like questioning people including the Spectre in the builds, to be honest. But I guess you could do like double Kirim in 2 turns is like the same thing, right? Oh no, because once it's on the bench.
Yeah, it's
If you
protected. That's
if
why
you
he put
KO
it to the
their
bench. He was like, "It can't
yeah,
get
yeah, yeah.
KO'd. It's
But if you KO
protected by
their
Tira."
what do they have? I guess if they have 4 Dracloaks, sure, then it would come up because then they could have like another Dragapult to run too. Yeah, 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 cool. All right, yeah. Yeah,
It's
the
funny to
Coffee
watch
Creek is
unfold.
definitely quite a bit better than I commented on last week. 'Cause I thought I put the damage on the active. I didn't read the card right, so considerably better. And cool things coming up for Slow King as well in the future.
It did seem like this
Competitors.
weekend when I was seeing people who were playing Slow King, it did seem like it was mostly boomerang energy builds compared to the I don't know what the highest
Yeah.
finishing one was here in Indy.
I mean, that's what I had previously liked as well, but
Oh no, this one was a
crush
Power Glass build.
yeah, crushing hammers are so hard to deal with the boomerang build. That's why I like the Power Glass might be the way to go, even though it feels worse. Power Glass feels considerably worse, but
Oh.
either. Okay, that I mean, you're cooked. They're just gonna unfair stamp you, and then you just can't play the game anymore. Let's have 2 switch. I guess that's where we're getting out of. Oh, you have like a Dunsparce enriching energy draw power. Okay, so that's like how we're like functioning around our Kyurem attack. All right, there might be a line there.
All right, well, let's get into our first topic here, which is about TPCI banning the sale of graded cards and other items at their events. So this article comes from PokeBeach, and this was in effect this weekend at Indianapolis. There were no graded cards for sale that I saw. I did see one vendor that had some like deck boxes, like Pokemon Center deck boxes for sale or Japan. I'm not sure, but they had something for sale that I don't know if they found a way that it was not quite qualified under what are they not allowed to sell? I don't know. But anyway, here we'll just read this bit. We've learned that TPCI is no longer allowing partnered vendors to sell graded slabs at its events, including NAIC and Worlds. Their policy will go into effect this weekend at Indianapolis Regionals. A public announcement is not expected. We've also learned that vendors are barred from selling items over $1,000 or most products from the Japanese Pokemon Center, including plush and TCG items. This restriction means high-end chase cards, such as Umbreon EX, can no longer be sold at events. This decision is not surprising. Graded slabs have become associated with the hobby's investor bro culture, with many chase cards selling for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. TPCI clearly wants to distance its events from the monetary side of the hobby, as allowing vendors to openly sell expensive slabs to kids would be a bad look for the company and distract from celebrating the franchise itself. And I did want to
Wait.
read this other little bit
Oh, go
here.
ahead. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you're good. You're good.
This was a pretty interesting. I saw a lot of people quoting this snippet of the article in the replies here. And this article also on Twitter, I mean, 1.3 million views. This kind of got a lot of traction. Saw a lot of people talking about it. Uh, Water Pokemon Master writes here, at a recent card show, I spoke to an enterprising 11-year-old, Rob D, who had taken over an abandoned vendor booth to sell cards. He told me he'd been vending for the last year and only bought product from Pokemon vending machines at MSRP. When I asked if he played the Scarlet and Violet games, he said no. He also said he'd never watched the TV show.
Yeah, he's not involved at all.
I just flip cards, he said. I don't know much about Pokemon. He added that he learned about Pokemon investing from watching influencers open packs on TikTok and Instagram, calling Pokemon cards the best investment right now. This kid is
Yeah,
11 years old.
yeah. Not good stuff for sure. So wait, is it so? Um, the Pokemon Center outside of the Japanese Pokemon Center items can be sold. I thought it was including all Pokemon Center
That was my understanding as
products.
well.
Yeah, but it's this article here on Beach only specifies Japanese Pokemon Center. That's what I thought it was as well. I thought it was all Pokemon Center products, Japanese and otherwise.
Hmm. Yeah, I think
I'm not
that is
sure.
meant to be the case.
Okay.
I did not see any of that stuff. I did see some like playmats and stuff being sold, but they were like regional stamped playmats, like from
Yeah.
years past. So I don't really know. And I wonder, I mean, I didn't talk to any of the vendors, ask them about any of this, so I don't
Mhm.
know. I didn't get any further like
Their feelings on it.
yeah, or like the guidelines that they were given or anything like that. I bet
Mm.
none of them would have said either way, but maybe I don't know.
It seems like the response from this though has been like positive, which I had no idea how to feel about it personally because like this is not something that I mean, I don't buy anything when I go to, like, the vendors at all. If I need, like, a couple singles, right? If I, like, am short a card or 2, or if I forgot to pack sleeves, you know, I go pick up some Dragon Shields from a vendor. I did talk to Lorelai about it because she's into, like, the vending space and selling cards and going to shows and stuff like that. And she seemed to think it was, like, a pretty positive thing as well. Like, the Pokemon Center stuff specifically, like, people just going on Pokemon Center, buying stuff, and then upcharging it at events and stuff, you know, that being like, it's at, like, an official Pokemon tournament, and, like, their products are being sold like, you know, double, triple, whatever their normal going rate. So I can understand that from that point as well. I didn't know there was, like, such a disdain for, like, I think graded cards are kinda cool personally, but it does feel like there's, like, a little bit of a disdain for graded cards. If you look at the comments on, like, the Poke Beach article, it looked like they were all pretty positive with this stuff being removed from events. So I get it. Like, I don't have, like, too big of an invested interest, but, like, yeah, Lorelai seemed to think it was, like, a pretty positive thing, like, the space that Pokemon's trying to create, wants it to be a little bit more inclusive and, I guess move away from the toxic what is pretty toxic. So maybe we'll see them, like, remove this in the future, but, like, the current landscape of the Pokemon TCG in the collector crypto bro space is very toxic, so they're trying to get away from that, I feel like, as much as possible, and they do have control of their own events, so it makes sense for them if that's the kind of community or, sentiment they wanna foster. You know, they have all the right to do that, and it's, like, not unreasonable, I feel like.
Yeah, I did see some people being kind of bummed out about the Japanese stuff not being able to be sold. You know, a lot of people like to use the Japanese sleeves.
Yeah.
People like to get the Japanese plushes, and those things can't be sold anymore. And that was like a place that most people got that type of stuff that are like, in the space. Um, and I do understand as well, like, it does feel bad if you like want to get a plush on the Pokemon Center. It's sold out. It's like a $25 plush, and you go to a tournament and there's a vendor selling it and it's $40. It does
Yeah,
feel just like a little weird for sure.
yeah.
Um,
I like at their event, right? It's not
yeah,
like a co some kind of, like,
it's
card con or anime convention or anything like that.
and,
It is an official Pokemon tournament.
and with that statement, I'm not trying to like say that the vendors themselves are doing anything wrong. You know, they're kind of just like responding to whatever the market price
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
is.
it's, like, fine.
But I understand it from Pokemon's perspective of like it not being a good look, right?
Yeah, definitely. It does feel wrong for their own events to be, like, encouraging the resale at, like, a higher value to sometimes an unreasonable rate for sure. Not saying any of the vendors at, like, the Pokemon tournaments actually do that, but, like, just trying to, like, cut it just, like, do away with it before it gets out of control or something they don't wanna deal with.
And I was also talking to someone else over the weekend, and they were talking about, um, you know, with the $1,000 hard cutoff of like
Oh, yeah.
items being sold, maybe that has something to do with some sort of liability thing from TPCI's perspective of like not wanting to assume liability for something that expensive being sold at one of their shows type thing.
Yeah. I mean, they're, like, not stopping people from, like, being able to sell sealed product, but now that does kind of take away, like, any retro stuff basically, right? No one can, like, sell retro booster boxes or anything like that at an event. You can't have anything over $1,000.
Yeah, nothing
Um,
super old.
yeah. I said, like, this is, like I mean, I guess we kind of already knew how Pokemon felt about that kinda stuff, but this is, like, them taking, like, a harder stance against all the craziness that Pokemon has become on that side of the game, like, the not playing part. But I did, like, kinda question, like, what will vendors like, if I think, theoretically, the plushies were, like, a big thing, but if they can't sell any Pokemon like, there's always a ton of plushies at vendors, I feel like, at events. So if they can't sell any Pokemon Center stuff anymore, that'd, like, include all plushies theoretically, so it's just singles and sleeves at this point,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I'm not gonna say, like, names and stuff, but there's a pretty big vendor who's been at most regionals this year who basically only sells plushies at their table, and they were
Yeah,
not there this past weekend in Indianapolis, you know?
yeah. You're getting pushed out, no more plushie sellers, all done.
Well, we do, have more to talk about this week with some pretty big news in the Pokemon TCG space. 30th celebration. The new set celebrating the 30th anniversary is set to come out worldwide September 16th, and they revealed today a ton of cards from the set, including a Pikachu mini sets where there's 30 different unique Pikachu artworks that will be
Oh man.
available to be opened and collected. There are unique cards, some uh, art rares and such, and then also a new iteration of the classic collection. I don't know if that is that what they're going to call it here. Keep an eye out for classic Pokemon receiving top-notch treatment to commemorate their place in the game's rich history. These reprinted cards won't be legal for play in the standard format, so no Pikarom out there for anyone. But you can use them in the formats that allow original prints of these cards.
Oh, is one of these cards Mew VMAX?
No.
Wait, are you sure?
Yes.
Wait, what there's what is it? Go to the Poke Beach article on this. There's a Mew VMAX. Am I trolling? What am I?
I don't think there's a movie Max. Maybe there was. I saw people talking about it on Twitter. I guess I should have pulled that one up.
Yeah, pull up the Poke Beach one. I think it has all 30 of the cards listed. What was like the most recent card that they did with the 25 year?
Oh, maybe Mew VMAX is one of them. Okay.
And Arceus V-Star, bro. Why are we? This is not. Those do not feel very classic to me.
But they're
And
iconic
Raikou.
cards from their.
Yeah, but give him a couple. Give him year 35, maybe, bro. Like year 30, we're bringing out the Arceus and Mew VMAX and V-Star, bro. Come on. I don't know about those. Also, Zacian V, bro. Nobody wants to see Zacian V. Get that guy out of here. I'm not gonna lie.
You're just a hater,
I'm hating.
dude.
I mean, but dude, come on. You got some
Let's
cool ones though.
see.
You got like the Uxie.
What was the newest card at the time of the 25th anniversary? Tapu Lele GX was maybe the
That was like,
newest card.
what year was the 25th anniversary? I
It
think
would have been
4 years ago.
2021, and that was
One.
2017 that card came out. So
That's still
4
pretty
years
recent. Yeah, that's
removed.
still pretty recent too.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
Mew
you said
VMAX came out in 2021, buddy. That's 5 years ago.
that's true. I guess I'm just looking back on it as like being like, I'm not like a Mew VMAX hater, but like Arceus was super boring. Mew VMAX was Mew, and then I mean Zacian, bro. Thankfully, it wasn't ADP. That would have been funny though if they had done ADP. But they went with like a better tag team in the Pikarom.
And they got a full art in print coming. It's kind of cool to see a full art version of a card. In the last classic collection, all the trainers that they printed were just like base rarity. Well, I guess there none of those that they printed back then had full art versions available, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is a good mix of like, many of these cards were extremely good. I mean, so like Pikachu and Charizard, not competitive cards, Misty, not competitive cards, all like iconic cards though. Same with like Shining Celebi and Lugia, but Erica's Jigglypuff, Sneasel were both very, very good cards. Delcatty, Dark Tyranitar, extremely good. Same for a lot of these in here. What did
Yeah.
Lorelai think about the Gengar print?
Oh, I didn't hear. I don't know if she knows. She probably knows. She
I'm
almost
sure
always
she
knows. Yeah,
knows.
yeah. She hadn't mentioned it to me though. I didn't realize it was in here either.
Yeah, Gengar Prime. Do you know how much like a regular Gengar Prime is worth now?
Probably a lot.
Let's see, TC.
For anyone who didn't play back then, people were doomsdaying about this card when it got revealed with Lost World. Little 300. Not
That's a
bad.
damaged copy.
Oh, there's near mint 500.
There it is.
He gets a 10.
Maybe. Why when I search Gengar? Oh, it's because it's from the Gengar EX Mega.
Mm.
I was like, why did Prime come up? Also, a silly thing kind of happened on Collector Bro Twitter as well, where I don't know if you've seen this or not, or saw if any of this spilled over to your Twitter timeline, but Pikachu Zekrom got bought out
Oh,
on TCG Player and is super inflated right now. It's probably already coming down, but
there we
yeah, look
go.
at the buyout right there.
Why?
Because it's being reprinted, and so they were like, dude, I don't understand the logic either. I'm
So
not gonna lie.
it makes the old printing more rare because there's a new printing.
Who knows? But
Uh,
honestly, if you got some Pikaroms lying around, it might be a good time to unload a couple of them because I don't think the $100 price point is gonna hold. That thing got
yeah,
printed a bunch because there's like the battle deck prints of it as well. Not financial advice.
I do have some Pikaroms. I have no idea where they are though. don't know how many I have.
What are your feelings seeing a Greninja break print?
I mean, that's fine. Granger Break was a cool deck. It was a cool deck.
This your boy Buzzwole. You did pretty good with Buzzwole back in the day.
Yeah, yeah. Bringing the buzz back. I
Um,
did
but
play
there
quite a bit of Buzzwole when it was around.
there are also new cards revealed for this set, including a new rarity, futuristic rare cards, with a Mew EX and a Mewtwo EX here.
Are they only
Um,
being printed in those rarities?
that is a great question
That would be
because
really
I did
bad
see
for the
someone
Mew.
reply to this and say the game is officially cooked if these things are like only
Yeah.
this high rarity version.
Yeah, because the Mew is actually kinda good. It's, like, already good in, like, a couple decks. Right. Well, I guess it's good in one deck. It's good in Beedrill.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, so Mew EX, a bit of a callback to the original Mew Capital EX, and a callback even further to the original Mew EX, which got printed in the last Celebrations set, the 25th anniversary. Memory Helix is the ability. This Pokemon can use the attacks of any of your benched Pokemon. You still need the necessary energy to use each attack.
yeah, so, like, with Beedrill, you can do a single grass swing with 3 or 4 bees in play, and then if your opponent has a response KO, you don't lose a bee.
Yeah.
So that's, like, pretty good for Beedrill. You can use it in, like, weird decks to, like with Clefairy for a single energy to, like Clefairy plus energy plus Lopunny would KO a Dragapult. That's kind of a lot of investment to put 160 HP, 2 pressure when you're active, but I'm sure there's
Dude,
other things that work.
another thing about this too, though, is what is the biggest downside of Mega Evolution Pokemon right now?
They're worth 3 prize
They
cards?
give up 3 prize
Okay, yeah.
cards. And what does this thing give up?
2?
And it can use those powerful Mega
Yeah,
Evolution attacks. That was
yeah,
one of the big standouts to me. I also thought about the Beedrill, of course, as well. I think that's like kind of the obvious place where this makes sense. But yeah, I think this card obviously seems really,
pretty
really
good.
good.
Yeah, gonna be solid for sure. I don't know
It'll
where
be
we're
like
gonna
it's not
see.
like the type of thing that a bunch of decks will play, but there will be a couple
No.
specific decks that it works really nicely in. And
Yeah.
also, anytime in the future of this card's legality, if there's ever like a thing that's weak to psychic that you want to be able to KO, you can put this in there, right?
Yeah, that'll be part of it as well. It's just something being weak to psychic. Like people I saw someone mention about like in Lucario Mirror, right? Like you play that, they don't. Something like that.
Oh, that's so silly.
But the first you need the maximum belt, I guess, right? To get the number.
Yeah,
Maximum belt
Premium
plus
Power
yeah.
Pro is not working with the Mew EX.
Yeah. So stuff like that could be interesting.
Mewtwo here is a little bit less exciting. 230 photon bullets for 2 psychic. It does 50 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon EX. And then psychic powers 230 during your next turn. This Pokemon can't use attacks. It is 3 psychic. You can juice it up with the Wonder Patch. And, 230 does KO a bunch of stuff, right?
Yeah.
There's
I
kind of
guess I could see it maybe with the Ghost Veil amplifier because you're doing 5 instead of 4 is quite a big difference to then quadruple, right? You do
dude, you are
5.
obsessed with this Ghost Veil deck.
You could just do 4 2 times though, but I'm just saying, like, that's like a possibility. Dude, you'll see. We'll see at Japan Championships this weekend what they've been playing in Japan because we kind of have no idea. There's no City League results or anything, so it's like
Yeah.
hard to know where they're at.
And there's a couple other new cards revealed here. A lot of these, there's nothing like this Umbreon has Retaliate 30 plus. If anything was knocked out, 100
Yeah.
more. I think
It's
this is
basically the
almost an exact
same
reprint.
yeah, from the one that people played with like Spiritomb or whatever, that
Hmm.
one. Yeah. Spiritomb
Actually, I'm gonna
Umbreon
look.
deck. Uh the Hunter Butler got top 8 at NAIC that year,
Hmm.
like, I think.
It is not an exact reprint, but it is. I mean, it was 30 plus 90 and then 60 for 2.
That's pretty close though.
Yeah, same
Wait,
effective.
is the old one just better? No, no. Well, I guess this one does 10 more damage,
Yeah.
right? With the retaliate, which is the important attack.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um, and then, Espeon here, Miraculous Shine, Devolve, but it's 2 energy. So I don't know. A lot of these just kind of seemed fine. Nothing seemed incredible. I think a lot of it is like the artwork stuff. The Greninja, though, and the Sylveon I think
Yeah.
there's something to talk about really with both of these cards. Greninja EX here first. Stealthy Slash. This attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for each damage counter on that Pokemon. Of course, combos nicely with Mega Greninja, which just came
Yep.
out.
Very good with Mega Greninja.
And then Sylveon EX 270. Colorful Harmony. 50 times this attack does 50 damage for each type of basic energy attached to all of your Pokemon. There's, of course, 8 different types. So you can knock anything out if you get
Yeah.
enough of them in play.
That'd be the question. I mean, we have Crispin. Is there any other way to accelerate energy into play like that, though?
There is Azul. There is, because what does Sylveon EX evolve from?
Oh, so you need to get Trumpet
You
involved?
can evolve it from the Terra EVEX. You can
Wait,
trumpet
hold on
onto that
then.
thing. You
That might
can
not be.
juice some energy into play to do a bunch of damage with this card. And there's the Eevee that you can evolve in the first turn of the game as
Yeah.
well.
I don't know if we're turn one attacking, but we have like Blender, Trumpet, Prism Tower.
Yep.
There could be something there, actually. You can hit pretty hard pretty quick.
I was thinking that this could just be like the you could take the Raging Bolt deck as it is right now, remove Raging Bolt and kind of get a Sylveon in there somehow, and that becomes your big attack, and
Yeah.
you don't lose your energy to attack with it. You can Teal Mask energy into play still, right? To do 50 more damage and also have an engine. Kangaskhan, Latias, Clefairy all working. I think this Sylveon seems pretty good, to be honest.
Yeah, that's not terrible. I didn't really think about Trumpet. I forgot about Trumpet completely. I was like, wait, I was just thinking Crispin, but Trumpet, once you get Trumpet involved as well, there could be an out. Seems good. And then the Greninja. Or we talked about the Greninja, right?
We did, yeah.
Yeah. Which, yeah, the Greninja seems good as well. It is. This feels like one of the. I mean, yeah, like it feels like Mega Greninja is like kind of scaling up here with card releases, which I feel like maybe I'm just wrong when I say, dude, I feel like we don't see that as much anymore. Where it's like good card comes out, it's good, it gets better or something new,
I
right?
mean,
Unique.
that
Oh,
was literally the
Guardy.
entire
That's
lifetime
literally
of
yeah, Guardy.
Gardevoir
Yeah, yeah.
EX.
I feel like it doesn't happen on a scale that is reasonable as often with multiple different decks as much anymore because it's kind of just Guardy. I mean, new cards come out, old decks will play new cards. Yeah, maybe I'm just wrong on that. Maybe it does happen as
Yeah.
much as it used to.
Teal Mask got a big boost when Meganium came out, right? It's like,
Yeah, yeah. Things scale up still, I guess.
but
This
yeah,
feels like
there.
it's like almost. I mean, this might be the missing piece for Mega Greninja. If Mega Greninja isn't good for whatever reason, it might not just might just not be good. Then this could be the piece that's missing for sure.
My thoughts is the Sylveon seems way better than the Greninja. I mean, because with Greninja, you're already trying to get multiple Mega Greninjas in play. So now you got
Yeah,
to
so getting
commit
this.
one of your Frogadiers to this guy as well,
Yeah,
and like you got to use it at the right. You're it's kind of just too much. I feel like too many stage twos. If this was not a Greninja, it was like a basic and it did like 20 for each damage counter. Me, there maybe is something interesting there. I think, but like I think the fact that you have to commit one of your Frogadiers that you kind of want to become a Mega Greninja to this makes it seem a little bit weaker. And you also have the Twilight Masquerade Greninja EX that's really good that you want to play in there somewhere as well. So um, I think this card could be good, but I think it seems less likely to be competitive compared to Sylveon, in my opinion. I think this card seems really, really good. That's my take.
yeah, that's a fair point about the Greninja for sure. It's like you need like a lot because you already like two Mega Greninjas sounds like what you're trying to achieve with that ability and everything. So
Yeah, with the Crispin and the Brilliant Blender Trumpet stuff, I mean, you draw a lot of cards with Kangaskhan and Teal Mask, and I don't think it seems that hard to have a really powerful Sylveon on like the second turn of the game. Maybe even the first turn somehow, but definitely the second turn. You can be swinging for 300 damage with this guy pretty reasonably, I think.
yeah, yeah, it does not seem terrible. It's got all the pieces. Another piece for Sylveon box.
And then I think there is still going to be more cards revealed here for
Yeah.
this mini set. I mean, there's 128 cards in the set. We only know a handful at the moment. So still more to come from 30th celebration. Pokemon TCG 30th celebration is the name of the set. Not a Mega Evolution set.
Yeah, probably won't be a hugely impactful set, but, like, so far from what they've shown us, the Mew wait, when is the release date for this?
September.
September 16th. So we're getting what are we getting? What's it called? June,
So honestly,
July?
we could talk about one of our. So for those who don't know, we take questions each week for our bonus episode and talk about um the topics that people suggest for us. One of them, we
Yeah.
actually could just bring it into the main episode here this week,
Yeah.
because it's pretty relevant to what we're talking about. So this is from uh, Emeril Joan, who says, "Hey guys, first of all, congrats, chip on the face too. And my question slash conspiracy theory: I'm getting a bit concerned that we might be playing different formats from Japan coming this fall. The release cycle as we currently know it: July 17th, Pitch Black; July 31st, Storm and Meralda in Japan; September 16th to 30th is Celebration worldwide, and November 27th, Aura Seeker comes out in Japan. We don't know when we'll be getting Storm Emeralda in English, but I highly doubt they would push it out in the 1.5 month period between Pitch Black and 30th Celebration. So it seems likely that the set would come out after the 30th Celebration set. And if we're going by our usual set release cycle, this would mean that Storm Emeralda would be our November set. They could release it earlier, but I don't know if their printing capacity can handle that. This would mean that for a couple of months, we would be playing a format that should not even exist, as we would be missing a whole set from in between. This is, of course, just a theory, but what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, I had a hard time believing that that's not gonna be the result of the current situation. And it's just so silly, man. Like, I don't know. Like, why are we in 2026 and we're playing different formats than Japan? Like, it's just insane. Ugh, it's just so dumb. It's like not how the game is meant to be played. Like, we're out here like wanting like simultaneous set releases, which we are getting for the 30th celebration set, but it seems like a one-off. And they care so much. Like, it's did anyone really care when they announced that? Like, does like why does it matter for them to do that if they're not gonna like the I feel like the only people who compare are the competitive players who care about simultaneous set releases. The collectors care about simultaneous set release?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, see, I don't even know. Like, I feel like the only people who compare care are the competitors. So they're doing this like this. I mean, they're trying to like hype up the 30-year celebration, I guess. Um, do like a simultaneous set release. I guess it's like good for marketing and all that kind of stuff to like do it simultaneously and just make it one big release, one big event happening. But I mean, it screws over the competitors. We're gonna be playing a fake format. I mean, it might not be that bad, right? It could be like a format that's good, but I feel it's just so silly to like play a format that the game's not designed to be played in at all or
Yeah.
something like that. So I mean, I think they say it's a conspiracy, but I think it's just gonna be what happens, which is just it's just super obnoxious,
And
man.
then we're
Super
gonna
annoying.
get Storm Emeralda, like whatever our version of that is, in November, right when Japan gets Aura Seeker, and so then we're gonna be like 3 months behind of them with their Aura Seeker set or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, would it be 3 months? It'd still be like 2 months, right? We're like we've been
Well, it
consistently
depends
been
on
like 2
whenever
months
our
behind,
version
right?
of Aura Seeker would come out, which would probably be January, I guess, right? Or
E
February.
well, see, January is like the special set. It would be
Yeah,
February,
there's
it'd be
got to
like
be a
end of
special set in there
February.
somewhere too. Yeah.
Yeah, but then that would throw us off by 2 sets of it'd be I don't know. I don't wanna think about it. It's just
Maybe they're going to combine Storm Emeralda and Aura Seeker, which is something they haven't.
true.
Dude, this is it. This is how we get on schedule with them. Are you ready?
Alright, go for it.
Pitch Black comes out. We do the 30th celebration. And then in November, Aura Seeker, Storm Emeralda, they smash it together for one set, one last
November.
time, catch us up. And then from there on out, we're coasting and have the exact same release schedule as Japan.
Then we'd rotate in January with
Mm,
Japan then, theoretically.
maybe. Who knows?
Maybe. I just don't have high hopes. I think they're just trying to do, like, some big thing with this, and then it ruins the competitive format. And then, listen, it could be fine, but it's just, like, silly to even do it. It's, like, to even think about doing it. It's like, "Oh, play the game in a format that the game wasn't tested for or prepped for or anything." I think there's a higher chance that it's a bad format than it's a good format when the game's not supposed to be played in the format that they're about to give us, so we'll see, though. Maybe it'll be okay. I don't know. It'd just be like it would be cool if we were progressing towards what I feel like every competitive player wants instead of, like, I mean, it's not even like we're moving away from it. It's just like all over the place. Sometimes we're a little bit closer, sometimes we're a little bit further, but there's no like consistency and there's no like there's no like actual progression towards like simultaneous set releases or anything like that. It just gets sometimes it's just worse, like this 30th celebration release. Yeah, a little bit of a bummer. but oh well.
We'll see whenever we get the full release schedule uh, through the end of this calendar year.
Yeah. That's what it is. It goes. We'll get a November set into a January set into a March set, or end of February and early March, whatever. Right? That's when it usually is. Or is it end of March, early April? No, it's end of March, early April usually. The last year's been end of March, early April. And like January, end of March.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Let's move on.
And the thing we move on to is Guess That Flavor Text, everyone's favorite segment of the podcast, where each week Azul or I picks a card, reads the flavor text from it, has the other host try to guess which Pokemon is featured on that card. We do have a couple of lifelines that you can use to try to get yourself some more chances to get the Pokemon right. For each lifeline you use, you do lose one of those points. The lifelines are what set the card is from, what stage the card is in, read and attack name. Azul is leading currently 45 to 40, and it is my turn this week to pick a card for him to guess. So hopefully he won't get it. And I'll have a chance to fight back in this thing before the end of the season. I got a card, Azul. Are you ready?
I'm ready, Chip.
Sensitive to cold, blank, gather in groups to share warmth when the temperature drops.
Mm. I feel like there's always something about snow run and cold. I don't know if they gather in groups, but I think like someone's probably doing fine in the cold. Like,
It is an ice type Pokemon.
yeah, I don't think someone's like too worried about that. Read me it again.
Sensitive to cold, blank, gather in groups to share warmth when the temperature drops.
I think it's like some basic Pokemon, probably evolving little guy. I'm definitely need some lifelines here, so let's go with what set is the card from?
This card is from Neo Destiny.
Uh, how old is that?
2000?
Neo
2002 maybe? Yeah,
Destiny.
2002.
Sensitive to cold. They gather in groups when the temperature drops. I think like some like grass or bug Pokemon. Give me an attack.
Swift.
Okay. It's a colorless or a grass Pokemon. Probably. I guess yeah. What stage is it?
It
Well,
is
probably a
a
basic.
basic.
Yeah, better safe than sorry. Read to me one more time.
Sensitive to cold, blank, gather in groups to share warmth when the temperature drops.
I don't know, man. This could be anything. Swift as the attack.
Yeah.
Be fast. Neo.
Neo Destiny.
When did Linoon come out? Or whatever the basic of that guy is. Because that would have a swift attack, but I think that's like Gen 3 or Gen 4 or something. What is it? What is the basic of Line? Is Linoon the basic? No,
Zigzagoon's the
Zigzagoon.
basic.
Zigzagoon. Could Zigzagoon be that old? Would actually maybe Zigzagoon would have Swift. Maybe Linoon would. Man, this is tough. Like some fast Pokemon, maybe some bird. We could just go with I don't know, Pidgey. Would it be Pidgey? They're not gathered in groups though. What Pokemon is gathered in groups like that? Let's just go with. Oh, let's go with Pidgey. Sure.
I don't think Pidgey's a terrible guess, but it is wrong. So maybe it is a
Yeah.
terrible guess. I don't know. No, it is not Pidgey Azul. I figured you would have a hard time getting this one. I don't know how you got onto a grass Pokemon.
Grass Pokemon have Swift.
Yeah, maybe
Like
so.
that.
And this
Yeah.
is a grass Pokemon, as it is Ledyba.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm never guessing Ledyba. No one thinks about Ledyba. Like, also,
Yeah.
I always think it's a newer age Pokemon because I think we've had Ledyba before, and I was like, oh, it's like that old. I didn't realize Ledyba was that old.
Look, Reshe Crom 64 says, "Crawl back under that rock, Ledyba. No one likes you."
Sheesh. I mean, I didn't go that far, but
Oh wait, hold on, dude. I love looking at PKMN cards comments. These comments are almost as mean as the ones on Skyridge Kadabra. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's go take a look at Skyridge
Honestly,
Kadabra.
maybe. Well, all of these comments are probably just going to be about Yuri Geller because
Oh,
it's
yeah, yeah.
the last Kadabra card for forever. Oh,
Damn you,
it's
Yuri!
the same guy, bro. It's the same guy who commented on the Letty Rock.
Damn you, Yuri Geller!
You've confined one of the coolest Pokemon into TCG obscurity because it happened to hold a spoon in its hand. Holy. Oh my gosh. And Kadabra hid behind those rocks. I wonder if it's the same rocks as the rocks that the Ladybuzz grasping onto here. No, no,
No,
it's
not
not.
even close. Alright, no points this week. Oh, well.
Dude, you
That
could
was
do a
that was
whole
never-ending.
it could be a whole like segment just looking at the comments section on PKMN cards.
Yeah. Like a Reddit read, but a
Yeah.
PKMN cards comment read. Like, it's interesting in there. I did look it up just because I was curious, and yeah, Pitch Black we're 2 months offset from Japan's Pitch Black. I was just curious. Yeah, because they came out May 22nd, so it's effectively 2 months, a little bit less than 2 months.
Yeah. All right.
Interesting.
Well, we do have the Indianapolis Regional Championships to recap from the weekend, and then we'll look at the couple of events that are coming up this next weekend.
I was gonna
Start off.
say I was gonna say, we didn't talk about this during your time at the event, but I wasn't there. I heard that the event wasn't ran very well, or was it just the bathrooms?
I think the bathroom situation there. It seemed like there was a lot of problems on the VG side of things because of
Oh, they
champions.
had yeah, they specifically had a problem.
Because the game cannot connect through local
Area network.
area network. It has to be a wireless network,
That's
and
because
so
I mean, that just local area network, I'm pretty sure just doesn't exist for games anymore. Like,
well, it is for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
yeah, yeah, they had it for Scarlet and Violet, but like most new video games that come out, it is all like connection through a server. There's nothing actually has local area network anymore.
Yeah, the bathroom situation was not great. Obviously, I don't think this is the organizer's fault. It seems like there was just some convention
Yeah, yeah.
center issue.
Those are the kind of things I'm talking about. Like, as a
Yeah,
community, we look pretty goofy if we're blaming Gaming Gen for the bathroom problem that was like a city water outage. Like, can
yeah,
you even like, like, can we connect the dots on this, please? Like, like people were like complaining to like Gaming Gen and stuff, or the firm organizer TPCI, like complaining to them at all about this is like, it's no one's problem. Like, stuff happens in life. Like, this is just one of those situations. Like, yeah. So these are like the kind of things I'm saying, where our community looks pretty goofy if we're complaining about like, stuff like this to just in general. Like, it's just like one of those things where things happen and there's nothing we
yeah.
can do about it. We just have to move on with life. Like,
Christopher Shemansky, who's one of the people who runs stuff up in the hive in the middle and like keeps the tournament running. He tweeted after day one, got a lot of applause today. Never good.
wait for
Because
like what?
they came over the loudspeakers and it was like, "Oh, Pokemon VG players, you now try to connect and get to your." And it's like, "Yeah, yeah, we can like go
Oh
play the
yeah,
game."
yeah, yeah.
We are happy to announce that the bathrooms are now working in the venue. Thunderous
Was it-
applause
yeah.
throughout the room.
True,
Oh
true.
man,
That is very true. Yeah, because the Masters players in general, whenever they're like announcing like how many players or whatever at the beginning of the rounds, the juniors and seniors are super loud, but obviously there's not that many of them. The Masters players are always like
oh
more
yeah,
timid.
it's so funny to hear. Junior players, are you ready? Yeah, yeah. And they're like fist pumping, jumping up, kids throwing their decks on the ground, like losing their mind. Masters players, are you ready? Okay, yeah, let's get this show on the road. Yeah,
Yeah, I
let's
guess
get
there is
going.
only a lot of cheering for like when some unforeseen obstacle like happens. It's
Hmm.
like,
And gets resolved.
yeah, I just want to like bring light to that. Like, we as a community, we can do better. We can complain about things that are worth complaining about. We don't have to complain about everything. Some things are just sometimes things happen in life. Like,
Yeah,
and like putting two and two together and like realizing that, and then realizing what is appropriate to complain about to who, s- it just makes more sense. You'll live a happier life if you can like come to terms with that. So I beg the community, please, if we can complain about the things that are worth complaining about, so we can stop looking so goofy sometimes. Appreciate it. Like, we can do better. I know we can all do better. I'm sure I've had my moments in the past as well, so I'm not saying I'm like 100% void of that, but
yeah.
together we can do more.
Well, we do have plenty of stuff to look at. We can start by taking a look at the metagame. Um, and I don't really know what went wrong between this information and how things got split up in Arcanine between variants, because that's like the information gets used for the official graphics and stuff like that. But the numbers just do look like the Lopunny and
A little bit different,
Lucario
yeah.
are not present here, right?
Yeah.
And they are present here in the meta share, which is more of what I would have expected.
I mean, you could
Um,
dive into the Lucario decks there from and maybe it's on Robin's end. I generally seem to think that Robin probably has a better grasp overall. Is it combining like Lucario and Lucario to Dunsparce or
it's
something?
like Lucario and then
And Lucario
Lucario
Hariyama,
Hariyama.
which they should just be combined. If we're
Yeah,
combining Dragapult
if
types,
we're
you should be
yep,
combining Lucario types. Like it should be one or the other.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, for sure.
okay. So we can see where Robin is making the differential, where we should know that that's where they're doing it as well, but they shouldn't be doing it like
And
that.
it's probably something similar for Lopunny as well. There's Lopunny to Dunsparce, and then probably
Maybe
Lopunny
Frostlass.
Frostlass builds. Yeah,
But if we're putting Dragapult variants together, those should be together as well. And
yeah,
then if you want to break it down further, like you guys did a cool segment in LA where you like looked at all the Dragapult
yep,
variants, I think it was.
yep,
So I don't think we saw that at this event, which is fine. We don't have to do it for every event. Like the first event doing it was cool, but
yeah,
yeah, it'd be nice to have that be a little bit better broken down from the official cast. But you can always just wait for and then check out Limitless afterwards because Robin usually has it correct. Um, that's why we work off of Limitless.
yeah. But yeah, Dragapult, I think to no surprise, 32% of the day one metagame. Um, Raging Bolt, I think a couple weeks before I was saying like Raging Bolt was probably going to be like 10% second most
Yeah.
popular deck. But as we were getting closer, I started to feel like it was going to be just a little bit under that. It just seems like Dragapult is just so much, and like so many other decks were kind of popping up into this like 6-7%. It felt like, anyway. Um,
Well, I mean, I feel like Raging Ball. This is what I was saying on my stream. I think Raging Ball is just slot box. It is slot box that has a Raging Ball sometimes. Like some people play Raging Ball. I feel like it goes both ways. Like some people have just have one Raging Ball, some people have two, whatever it might be. But like slot box in general is like 10%, 10, 11, right? When you put the basic box with the Raging Bolt and then you take
sure,
is there like a Clefairy box percentage down there somewhere? It's basically like 11% slop. Because the decks function pretty similarly. I would say the outlier is something like this from All Out Blitzel, like Lily's Pearl heavy Clefairy type builds. This
yeah.
would be like an outlier.
Yeah, this is a pretty
Besides
unique
this,
build, honestly. He said I talked to him a little bit this weekend. He was like, "Dude, people were asking me why was I not playing Great Ball in my deck? Why was I playing Dusk Ball instead of Great Ball?
Great Ball rotated.
Great Ball's not in format." Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just one of those cards that you kind of like always think is there, like Pokeball and
Yeah.
Ultra Ball.
And maybe it would see some play of it. Well, I don't know. Dust Ball basically feels the same. If you were gonna play Great Ball in this format, you'd probably be playing Dust Ball, right? Like you have a replacement currently.
Yeah. Yeah, same effective card.
Yeah.
Um but a pretty big I think one of the biggest things here is the rise of Ogerpon Meganium
Yeah.
archetypes. It seems like the big and most of this is Hydrapple.
Yeah.
Arbolive is in here a little bit, but it's mostly Hydrapple.
Hydra was definitely carrying the majority of the success, I think, as well. Although we did see Arboliva in top cut of
Yeah,
I believe it was Melbourne, right? But yeah, the Hydrapple making waves, probably the most hyped deck right now. I say like the deck has the most hype behind it as being like a new thing to check out and try. And I mean that's because it beats a lot of things. Like you said, the high, like you played it. You said the high, having there's something with 330 HP is just kind of nice. That one hit KOs everything. Really makes your opponent work hard if you get it online, especially early on. So yeah, it's kind of cool to see it in the mix. Also, I think it does like maybe it's Dragon Ball matchup is close. I feel like it's like slightly favored though, at the very least, not by a ton.
yeah, it's close. I mean, they all are playing Moltres right now, unless you're
Yeah, yeah,
Andrew
true,
Hedrick.
true. Did Hedrick
Um,
not play the Moltres?
he did not. He said, "I'll beat them
Oh,
anyway." When I talked to him,
sure, sure.
uh, I think if they don't have Moltres, the matchup seems pretty free, to be honest.
It definitely seems considerably better for sure. But there's a lot of really good players on Dragapult, so playing a card that's not good in the Dragapult mirror
Yeah,
definitely hurts you more if you're that confident against the players you're gonna bring in the Hydrapple, right?
Yeah, yeah, I do think it had. There's no Moltres, then I think the matchup is like pretty solid for Hydrapple. But with
Yeah.
the Moltres, it's close. Still, I would say I'd give it like a 50-50. I mean, my record against like if you look at my specific tournament record,
It's
I did
50-50.
not do good against Moltres Dragapult. That I mean, 3 of my 4
Mm,
losses were Moltres Dragapult builds.
yeah.
This one I very much attribute to going to time in round 6. We were one of the last matches done, and this matchup is actually really fun and
It's
interesting.
interesting, yeah, because you have
Yeah,
your own Diplin, right?
exactly. And he played it, shout out Sean here, played it really, really well, which I mean, the big thing is to just set up the Sea King because I
Yeah.
can't kill the KO the Sea King. Um, so there's like a bunch of levels to it. Reggie Gigas, low key, a pretty good attacker as well for me in that matchup. Better than Bulu in that matchup as well, because Bulu could be handled uh, easier. Um, but I did not play great in this game. Game 1 and then bricked in game 2, so uh tough one. But these two were, I won the first game, lost the next two against Asher here, and then got 2-0'd by Sammy. So I don't know. The matchup in this game 3 against Sanjeev, he in game 3 prized Moltres and Unfair Stamp. And if he has neither of those cards, I don't think I can ever lose. So
I think it's
also
tough.
didn't get it also didn't get a Dracloak play turn 2, which also
Yeah.
helps.
I think it is probably tough against the Moltres build, but good against non-Moltres.
Yeah. Yeah, if they're not playing Moltres, I feel great for sure.
Okay,
But
okay.
I went into the weekend expecting most of them to be playing Moltres.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That felt like that was where things were headed for sure.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the meta. I just want to look at the conversions. Go
Mhm.
back to the metagame. Big
I mean,
outliers.
I think it was pretty apparent that this was not gonna be a good weekend for
Oh yeah,
Lopunny.
yeah, yeah. The watchtowers were on the rise, and I feel like another thing with that is also Dragapult players were still figuring out how to play against Megalopony, whether you have Watchtower or not. But Watchtowers were also on the rise, so that was definitely a
Yeah.
factor. More people were more comfortable in that matchup because the matchup's not that bad, even if you don't have Watchtowers. But Watchtowers do help, and
Let's
we saw
see.
some people playing like double Watchtower in their decks, which I think definitely made sense. All the things that like beat Dragapult, Watchtower is pretty good against. Or all the things that Dragapult's competing against, or most of it, Watchtower is pretty good against.
And then there's an uptick in Lucario as well. Converted
Pretty
okay,
bad.
not
Mm,
great.
yeah, not very good.
I
I
guess
wonder what that
anything
is.
if what's like the mark? Like 15% and over is like good conversion rate, would you
I
say?
think I think I think I did the numbers before, but I don't know if they changed. Like 16, 17 is average, I think.
Okay.
So like Ogerpon did fine. Like 20s, once you get into the 20s,
Alakazam.
that's like good.
Mhm.
So I think 12 is bad. The 12 there for Lucario is bad. The 11 for Team Rocket's Mewtwo is bad. Those are not great conversions. Festival lead only at 13. I mean,
33 for Crustle.
that's pretty good. But Crustle, you expect to have high conversion rate usually. Like usually converts really well. Whether or not it places well is going to be the question.
Yeah.
Top converters though,
Basic box.
is this just slot box?
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, and this one has Raging Bolt in it.
yeah,
Probably a decent amount of these have a Raging Bolt in it.
yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Robin not giving its official name.
This is
Beast
probably pretty
not,
similar to what I would have played if I had gone with
just the one
Raging
bolt.
Bolt. Yeah, the one Clefairy. Or sorry, the two Clefairy, the one Raging Bolt.
Yeah, just want a little bit more to one hit KO stuff.
Yeah. Well, just needing
Or
less
KO
off of
anything.
Unfair Stamp as well.
Yeah, true. Just having something preemptively up
Yeah.
set up in play.
I will say, like, heading into NAIC, the way people are going, I mean, there was very much less Passimian in
Yeah,
Raging Bolts this weekend. Uh, People were playing this Koraidon a little bit. I don't think you needed either necessarily this past weekend. Um, the Koraidon is like cool to one hit KO an opposing Kangaskhan.
I think it's like a good for the mirror, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
like if they open with Kang. Oh no, can you one hit that early though? You could theoretically, right? You could like theoretically go turn 2, Koraidon, knock out their active Kangaskhan.
I mean, yeah, that's you
That's
need to
tough.
draw one of your 2
Yeah,
fighting
yeah.
energy and Crispin and energy switch grass.
Unlikely.
Yeah. Um, but that lines up pretty nicely for a deck like Crustle, which ended up having a good run. Rahul Reddy with the second place finish. Let's go ahead and just hop over now to standings, and we'll start by
Yeah.
looking at the first place list from Karis Jones. First off, of course, congratulations to Karis getting her first regional win, which I don't think is a surprise really at
Yeah.
all. She's had some incredible finishes and was kind of just bound to be a champion at some point in the next couple seasons. And what an interesting deck to do it with. Obviously, the raw power and damage output of Alakazam, but with this little Elgin nighttime mind control package for the Dragapult matchup. Very, very unique.
Yeah, very interesting. I mean, we hadn't seen anyone actually do this with Alakazam. We'd seen a bunch of different ways people had kind of tried to tackle the Dragapult matchup. Initially, Heavy Battle Cage plus Genesect came out from Japan early on, and then we saw like the Rabska stuff. Grant Manley had a build. We saw a successful build over in Brazil. I forget who the pilot was. I
Mhm.
think Giovanni Sasso helped on that build though, the Forced Vitality build. And then Harris here plays the card that they printed to counter Terra Pokemon called Nighttime Mine, which no one else had put in the deck yet. But there's literally a card that exists in the format to counter Terra Pokemon. Dragapult's a Terra Pokemon, so yeah, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, how did no one like come up with this sooner? Almost kind of situation. It's like maybe it just made sense to play four Nighttime Mine to beat Dragapult. I guess it's hard to compare it to like Battle Cage because Battle Cage seems like it I don't know, is just as good. But yeah, really cool build. It's just really cool to see the innovation come out and be super successful. Like every match we saw Karis play against Dragon Ball, she kind of like dominated the match. It was like they were not that close for the most part. There was maybe some errors. Some of her on stream Dragapult opponents were attaching to the active Draco, like not respecting Candy Alakazam turn 2, which even though she only played 3 Candy, it had like the deck sees a lot of cards. So like it's not even that unreasonable for her to get it. So maybe could have been a little bit played a little bit better on the Dragapult side, but for the most part, she basically dominated every Dragapult she played against, and it did not seem uh, that close. I think one of the games was close against Justin. Game one against Justin was close. Game two was not very close. So, yeah, pretty convincing victory. I feel like it felt like she was kind of just ahead of the curve on this one with this build.
She
We never
had
saw
the deck
her.
for the weekend.
Yeah, we never saw her use the LGM. But I think she commented that it's most useful when they try and slow the game down with Badoo. And most of the games she played were like a lot more aggressive. So there's probably just never time to use it. But the Nighttime Mines definitely did quite a bit of work. Yeah, very well deserved victory, especially with like the innovation on the builds. And I don't know, maybe this is how we'll see Alakazam kind of get played moving forward. Obviously, special red card comes out, so that makes things a little weird for like how worth it is the Genesect. Um, but you might still need to play it because Unfair Stamp still seems like it might be the move in Dragapult. So yeah, very well deserved dub. Cool to see the innovation happening. It doesn't make me wonder how much more innovation could happen with other builds of decks to tackle the Dragapult matchup because that's the question mark for basically every deck in the format. Um, but it's cool to see, like a deck that like seems to like kind of dominate Dragapult get the victory.
Yep, pretty clean path as well. Played plenty of Dragapults on the way to the top, which you would expect, and then just other like I mean, if it's not for Dragapult, Alakazam does pretty good against most
Yep.
other things. The Raging Bolts and the like out there really kind of. I mean, Lucario obviously seems like a pretty good matchup in phase two. It was like basically just Dragapults though.
That's how most
Uh,
of the one prize decks are as well. They just need to figure out their Dragapult matchup. The Festival Lead, the Honchkrow,
yeah,
the
and does have
Alakazam.
have the Dedenne to maybe handle some of these like Crustles with the Mist
Yeah.
Energies.
Yeah. Then an infinite loop on the enhanced hammer. And yeah, did take down Rahul in the finals. Both games were actually were kind of interesting. Um, because Karis never found early enhanced hammers to like stop Rahul from like playing the game. She never got like the early Dedenne enhanced hammer loop. So both games were like actually winnable for Rahul, up to a point until she like game two, she drew double enhanced hammer and KO'd Rahul's lone Kangaskhan. Game one was a little bit more back and forth, a little bit more interesting. But it never felt like it was out of grasp for her. And if it had gone to a game 3, maybe she finally drew, like, a more aggressive start and was able to just kinda, like, take over the game, who knows? But, yeah, Crustle seems like it was a pretty good meta call, until you hit the Alakazam with the E-Hammer to Dene, of course.
Yep. Yes. Congratulations to Rahul. Uh, kind of opposite ends of the spectrum here, right? Where Karis, great young player, had a couple solid finishes these last years. Kind of expect her to get a dub. Rahul, we maybe been saying we've expected him to get a dub for a while. It'll happen someday, buddy, I'm sure. But it does feel bad
Gotta
to
keep
come up just a
grinding.
little short whenever he's had so many opportunities. I know he wants that dub.
Yeah, a lot of top cuts at this point. A couple second places now over the last couple seasons,
Yeah.
with this one here. Really cool meta call though with the Crustle. Everyone was like, basically everyone was out off of the Dunsparce EX, right? Like playing Moltres and a Dunsparce EX, that's crazy. You have to go with one over the other. And obviously, the Moltres is better against the Hydrapple deck than the Dunsparce EX is. So there's like no fear
Yeah,
of the
Moltres
Dunsparce
does
EX.
nothing against this.
Yeah, yeah. So this is like a really nice lineup from Rahul for sure. And I feel like the way the metagame was headed in general, like Raging Ball becoming more popular, Hydrapple becoming more popular. Like those are all. Well, actually, no. Do you beat the Hydrapple if they have the Bulu? Is that? I guess comes if they have Regigigas or Bulu, right? The Bulu is probably unbeatable,
Yeah.
but you
It
probably beat the Regigigas
it
version.
does seem like most people were playing the
Reggie, right?
Bulu. No, it seems
Oh,
like
were
the
they?
Bulu was a little more popular. That was my thought. Let's see if we can look at it on well, if we look at it here on
It's on
Limitless, I
Limitless.
think
Yeah,
it's,
just go to the.
if we look at it oh, no,
Oh,
we
you
need to
can
look
look at
at
it in the.
decks, yeah. No, we need to look at it like this.
You can look at it in the specific tournament.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, yeah. So if you go to tournaments and then indie and then
Cards?
cards, and then click on the deck at the top, deck list. Or yeah, click on that and find the Hydrapple.
And this is just day 2.
Yeah, so 60% had Bulu, 28% had Reggie. So yeah, I guess more had Bulu. And the Bulu does what, 220?
220 and then 30 to itself.
Oh, I mean, they can trade back into it, right? So
Yeah, but you gotta manually power up your attacker.
yeah, you're a little slow. And they have Meganium as well. So maybe not a great Meganium matchup. But against some of the other stuff
The
though.
Meganium, though, it was actually funny. I ran into Rahul in the airport and we were talking about it a little bit. He was actually organizing his deck because he ran from the venue to the airport because he was worried he was going to miss his flight. So he didn't lay out his deck to take a picture or anything. So he was organizing it in the airport. And Grant was asking him about the Bianca. Like if he said, I did not use this card once. And I was like, but if you played against a Meganium, the Meganium Bianca, you can heal your Crustle after Meganium hits it. That's kind of good, right?
Yeah, there we go. That's the out. I mean, you also two hit game in the yeah. That's the Meganium's got to be tough, I guess. But he both mostly hit. What was his matchups?
It was a lot of Dragapult.
What did he lose to? He did beat a Hydrapple.
He did lose to a Dragapult, Alex, who made top cut as well. No, yeah, did make top cut as well. Yep.
Yeah, the matchup is it's tough to lose though. It is pretty tough to lose.
Lost
Lost
to
to Hedrick as
Hedrick.
well. I wonder if those are just like 1-0 situations where you just lose. He almost lost top cut as well. They did bring up the feature match on the stream because
Oh, they had that?
yeah, they had feature match available. They didn't have a they didn't have a gameplay feed, but there was a TV showing the match so like people could sit and watch it.
Yeah,
So they
yeah.
brought the moving roaming camera over, and you could see them playing and the TV in the same frame. I thought the TV was like an over, dude. It was. I thought the TV was like overlaid. Like they had the gameplay
They
feed,
were
but they weren't blowing it up
recording
for
the
some reason.
TV.
But no, they didn't have. Yeah, they were recording the TV with a camera basically to get the match. They had no. They
In
didn't
the
have the
big
gameplay
two
feed for the
six.
production in the big 2-6. Wait, beat a slow king? That matchup seems like it should be pretty tough. How do you Oh, missed energy on Kangaskhan? Maybe they struggle with that because they can't one hit KO it. So you just attack with Kangaskhan. You heal it because they can't annihilate it. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, Rahul almost did lose in cut. It was interesting. He made a gameplay error. He was basically gonna win 2-0. They made a gameplay error, lost. Yeah, that's how they had it. I thought the TV was like an overlaid
This is kind of a
chocolate
cool
display.
looking shot, I'm not gonna lie, seeing it, but it would be better if it was just the gameplay. But
Yeah.
this is I mean, it's not better than the other option, but it's cool.
No, yeah, yeah. It's fine. So they went to game 3. Um And I don't know, it got interesting, it got weird because like, Rahul had Kangaskhan in play and then benched the second Dwebble that he probably shouldn't have benched. But I think Kira made some errors. Like Kira's win condition was basically KO Kangaskhan and then make it awkward for Rahul to ever draw 3 prize cards.
Bruh, someone tell Pablo to get out of the way. What is this guy doing?
um,
Oh,
but
is he
yeah, it
might have been
was.
he oh, he's talking in the is he talking in the microphone?
Oh yeah, he is. I think you can hear him. Yeah, he's
Okay,
commentating it.
maybe so.
But yeah, it got really interesting. Yeah, he probably should have won 2-0, but made a gameplay error, double prize penalty, loses game 2 because of that. Like she had 1 prize card left. He had 1 Crustle in the active, like nothing else on the bench. There was no way she was getting the last prize card. Go to game 3. Um, I think he misplayed by benching the second Dwebble because it opened up a line for Kira to KO Kangaskhan and then just like boss the Dwebble, like be ahead by 3. But then she like bosses the Dwebble, KOs Dwebble first, and then it like allowed Rahul to just actually start attacking with a Kangaskhan and just like win the game basically. So
Mm.
it got really interesting though. It got really interesting for a little while because there was not that much time left. So it was like almost in a situation where it was going to come down to a head on prize cards, but then Rahul just started attacking with Kangaskhan and took over the game.
Well, I guess the tournament runs pretty easy when you hit just auto wins the whole way.
Yeah. Szymanski's deck happened
Szymanski,
out.
he has Buffalont. That's not
Not good
good
enough,
enough.
right? Yeah.
Galvanch
Overpower
oh,
into
he can't
crust.
can he do anything to oh, this thing. I was gonna say, can he even do anything to Cornerstone? But he has this thing.
Nice. The cornerstone out. The wicked impact. The
Kind of a
Alakazam
cool tech
tech.
as well for the Alakazam, yeah. We might see this pop up at NAIC, the
Yeah.
combination of Rocket's Articuno plus Kangaskhan.
Yeah. It might people might do it. We're getting special red cards, so we'll see if Alakazam survives, but people
It
could
did
definitely go
win the
that
first
far.
tournament in Japan after Red
Yep.
Card came out, so
There was like quite a few uncut as well, if I remember correctly. So despite red card, Alakazam was still kicking over there big time. Yeah, great meta call from Rahul with the crust. It feels like it felt like it was solid. It wasn't like anything crazy, but it felt like it was a solid call. And then hit enough pults. Did beat a couple of unfavorable matchups as well, so he didn't just wasn't full cruise control, like beat one of the Hydrapples, stuff like that. But then there was a lot of Dragapult in cut from there.
there was quite a few Dragapults in cuts. I do think probably the most unique Dragapult build was this one from Justin Newdorf. I do want to just quickly mention though, Hedrick here getting back-to-back top cuts, of course, winning LA and then
Yep.
getting top 8 here with just one card different. He cut a
Arc Energy for Badoo.
yeah, Dark Energy for Badoo. I was trying to figure out what the cut was. I
Yeah.
knew it was for the Badoo. Couldn't
Double
remember.
do. Double do seemed pretty good. We saw that in Melbourne pop up a little bit, the double Badoo.
Yeah. But other than that, a lot of these Polt lists, the Hammer Polt lists, look pretty similar. Some count of
Watchtower,
Watchtower, some
Moltres.
yeah, Moltres. Sometimes you
This
see
one did have both.
ruins.
Did Dunsparce GX and Moltres, the whole squad.
Oh yeah, right here. Alex. Um, and then yeah, I think Justin's was definitely the most unique Polt build. This one with Dusknor, which I guess is not a unique or novel concept, but Dusknor and Crushing Hammers and Moltres as well. That's at first when I was hearing people talk about his deck, I was like, how did he fit all of these things in his deck at once? But it doesn't even look like he had to sacrifice much to do it. One
No
Monkey Dory,
candies.
one Dark. That's like about it, right?
Yeah, just didn't play candies, which is what you usually see with Baltimore, but sacrificed that. Only played the one Badoo, but yeah, it actually like once you look at the list, it's like okay, that's like not. I mean, 3 Night Stretcher feels a little bit better with Dusknoir builds, I think, than non-Dusknoir builds. But once again, can't play at all, especially if you want to fit 3 hammers in your deck. So it does kind of like beg the question though, like was every other build of Pult was just Hammer Pult, right? Very
Yeah.
close to similar lists, and went for Watchtowers here. A lot of people on the Watchtowers, like, and then we see like Hedrick. Now Hedrick, I mean, with Hedrick specifically, like I put Hedrick like all these players are good. I think Hedrick is like a there's like S tier, there's like S plus tier players like Hedrick's the Tords, right? Like they're like a little bit above everyone else. So like it does make a question is like, is Hedrick just skill diffing people a little bit more than everyone else? Or like because like he makes cut with this list, but then there's like the Dusknoir list. Like, where's the best place to go with Pult? Like, do you need the Dusknoir? Because you obviously don't. The reason to play Dusknoir is like Dusknoir, I think, is like better against everything that's not the mirror match. Against mirror match, you probably don't want Dusknoir, but even then, it's not terrible. But like, if we still see all these other players getting this far with this build, And then now we ask the question about like, should you be playing Moltres or the Dunsparce X? Hedrick just got back-to-back cuts without any of those tech inclusions, and he's not even playing Watchtower. He's still in the Risky Ruins. Well, like I said, with that though, Hedrick I think is like eh, there's a difference between like really good players and like Andrew Hedrick and Tord Reklebs and like those kind of players. There is still a skill separation for sure. So maybe like not everyone should be going to like playing his build, but like do we need any of the fancy tech cars, or can we just do it with a couple Badoos and a couple Whiskey Ruins? I don't know. It's like interesting to see all the lists that make cut, and then Hendrick still playing basically his same 60 from LA, and being a contender to win the event potentially. Well, I don't know if anyone's beating Karras, but beside maybe getting second, contender to get second. So it's just interesting.
We didn't even look at Karras's. Oh no, we did look at Karras's
Yeah, we
matchup.
looked at
Yeah.
Karras's run. Yeah,
Looking at Justin's though, lots of Dragapult mirrors.
yep, yep.
Got the better
Tied.
of Hedrick and cut as well.
Oh yeah, the tie against Evan. Can you look at Evan's list? Does Evan play Psyduck? No.
He does not.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
because
Evan, this was an interesting one, I believe, because Evan uh
couldn't make
needed
top
to
cut with the tie.
he needed to make top cut as well at this tournament to get his invite
To
because
get top 8 or top 16?
he did not get into NAIC.
So he needed top 8?
He needed top 8. Some people said top 4. I don't know what the exact number
Oh.
was. And it was like basically this auto loss matchup or take the ID and win 2K.
I don't even know if it's an auto loss matchup though. I feel like you don't have Psyduck. It makes things a lot harder, but you still got 4 Battle Cage, you still got the Genesect. Like you're taking it, I don't know. I I didn't know it was his. I thought he was like locked up for his invite. I was like, because
I think he's just outside.
Evan competes quite a bit. I just assumed he just had his invite, and I assumed this ID was like I would understand the ID if there wasn't as much. I mean, whatever he wants to do at the end of the day. But like I thought, I was like, oh, he's got his invite. Like he's probably going to lose the matchup. Like the Dust Norse can be tough to deal with for sure, but you can still beat it. You got 4 Battle Cage. You got the Genesect. You got pieces. You got tools. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
the ID.
currently without these points. He's at 630. So I don't
So
know
like
if he's replacing a finish here.
top 16 would give him how much? How much do you get for top 16? You get a lot. He might
Yeah,
be comfortable. He might be locked with the top 16.
but he's probably replacing a finish, so it's
Yeah,
not
that's
the full
true.
points.
But it's like a lot, isn't it? It's a ton of points.
200.
That's 830. Nah, he should be chill. He should be chill with that.
Well,
Well, 8,
I don't know. It depends on what he's replacing. It depends on what he's
yeah,
replacing.
but even minus 50 points would be 680 or 780, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
He's got a chance for sure. I guess
It
yeah, it
sounded
depends how
like
many
that's what
replaces.
I heard people saying, but looking at this, that does not quite compute. I don't think that the points from India are in here yet. I guess that is
Twitter
possible.
exaggerating is bleeding over into real life. Everything is just way more inflated than it is.
Wait,
Yeah.
actually, it might be because 300 here would have gotten him to, if it was 100 more points, it would have gotten him to 730, which would probably be safe for invite. So maybe I don't know if Indy points are already in here or not. I guess that's a question.
Oh,
Yeah, Karras is up
730.
to 15 something, so I think they might be.
Um, Oh, so he would have needed a top 8 or maybe even a top 4. From what I've heard, 730 is not safe. So maybe it's
Yeah.
fine. Maybe it was worth to just not take the risk.
Anyway.
Yeah, interesting. It's always interesting to know why people like do the ID in the round because I think he knew that he was not making cut once he ID'd, and there was a chance, but it was like super super small.
Yeah, I guess we didn't fully explain that very well, but yeah, looking at the pairings, in round 14 it would have, or 13 it would have been, Evan did intentionally draw with Justin,
Yeah,
which Evan, I have to assume, knew that 31 match points would not make it into top cuts.
yeah, it was
Justin
pretty.
fine with it to get the top cut because even if he wins, he's probably an ASIM.
Yeah, it was pretty evident that it wouldn't make top cut, so I'm sure he was aware. I'm sure pretty much everyone knew because there was like a potential for like 11 players. I think ended up being the full 11, right? Yeah, 11 players with more than X21 points. So it was the expected outcome.
But yeah, there's a bunch of Pults here in cut. There was Cody Hope with the Hydrapple. Shout outs to Cody being a representative for us Hydrapple gamers. Did play the Bulu over the Gigas.
No
Um,
Pokepad. He just gave up on the Pokepad. He's like, this
well,
card is
it is
just
just kind of like the one random card. It does boost the
yeah,
consistency
yeah, yeah.
slightly, but I like it. I don't know. It's fine. He did
It's a
add
pretty
an
good I don't know, it's a pretty good I just like that's what I'm saying, like, it's like I'm not saying it's wrong, it's just crazy to not see any Pokepads in the deck, going from, like, the Arbor list that used to play, like, 4 and
yeah.
obviously the decks are different, though. 2 Dawn, though. Dawn's pretty sick in here. Usually
Yeah, he
people are
has
playing the 1 Dawn, right? So,
second Dawn and he has Night Stretcher, which most people don't play.
yeah.
Though I will say a lot of these lists that I looked at did have a Night Stretcher in them.
Yeah, and
And
had a
then
pretty sick, I was gonna say had a pretty sick stream match as well. Fez for 3 into the Briar, it was the 3rd card
I
off
did
the
see that.
Fez. Pretty hype moment for getting top cut and seemed super yeah, super excited to, get the win there, being top cut, so it was a cool moment.
Yeah, definitely. And then Raging Bolt from Larry with who missed the cruel arrow apparently, but it looks like it is just the Ian Rob 60.
Yep, Ian Rob 60 there, yeah, looks like it. Yeah, he did miss a cruel arrow play. And anyone who's heard my rant, it is not targeted at Larry. It is targeted at everyone when they come up to you and they complain at the event or they tweet out that there's nothing more they could have done and X thing is broken and the variants are always against me. I guarantee they did not see the cruel arrow play either. So
Yeah, a couple more Alakazams here. I think this looks like the
oh, one
most
thing I was gonna say interesting about Karis's build is she didn't play Shaman, which makes the water pond going up Wellspring a little bit more awkward, but she does have 4 nighttime mine, which I'm sure helps make up for some of that.
yeah.
They also, I mean, they play like 4 Area Zero and the Chi and Pow, but like you have a little bit more play into that line from them. So I'm sure it's still not like terrible to go up against like Slopbox, Raging Bolts, whatever. She did beat what? 1 Raging Bolt, 1 Slop, Water Ponds. But yeah, you still have some play against it. Make them work a little bit harder as well.
Yeah. Other than that, any other lists you want to talk about or look at here?
Looked at
We talked about Alex
yeah.
Szymanski's, but Josh Frank did get top 32 with the same deck. This was kind of an interesting one. Tank Kangaskhan.
Yeah, Josh did say once your opponent knows you want to go second. I think I saw him tweet. Yeah, your opponent knowing you want to go second before you start the match is not good. Then they choose second and they itchy paw on you and you can't play trolley. That's like the problem with trolley decks is I guess it's specifically Badoo because if you go up against like other decks and they make you go first, it's not as bad. It's still not great though. Like one of like the advantages of playing a deck like this is you're playing a go second deck in like a go first format.
Yeah.
Um, but you lose that advantage when your opponent chooses second. But I don't even know how much of a go first format it actually is, to be honest. There seems to be a disagreement on the correct way to play the Pulp Mirror. Some people choosing first, some people choosing second. I think going second is correct.
I was
Um,
debating as Hydrapple if I should be choosing to go second against Dragapult after some of my games.
yeah, I don't know. I just like playing the game, man. You play the game so much. You play games so much more when you go second. Also, like Raging Bolt versus Paul. I think we saw some players uh effectively disagree by choosing the opposite of what their opponent chose in matches as well. So that's always interesting. That's one of my favorite parts of Pokemon is like when two good players disagree on something. That to me is always super, super interesting. Um, so yeah, I think it's a little bit undecided. Some people like going first, some people like going second. I'm definitely a go second believer because I just like playing the game. But that could be a bad thing. Playing the game doesn't mean you're winning the game. Winning the game is winning the game. So that's the most important thing.
Well, there is Indianapolis, and there are a couple tournaments coming up this weekend. I guess before we do that, we should recap our predictions from the weekend. First one up was highest placing Haunch Crow. Azul gave it the top 64. I believed a little bit more for some reason and gave it a top 32. Where is
And
this thing?
come on. No! Stop! Make it stop! There it
Top
is.
128.
Martin. Alright, it almost got really bad. Shout out to Martin.
Yeah.
How many people were playing the Zapdos TCG 60?
A lot of people playing Joshua Van Overschedule's list here.
Yeah, yeah. Cool to see. Oh, Parker, yeah, Jesse ended up playing that build as well.
Also, shout outs to, I don't even know how to find it, but Robin tweeted that he made a ranking for.
Yeah, where did he put it on the main page?
Hang on, I'm gonna pull up his Twitter. After we talked about it on the podcast last week, how I thought it would be cool if there was a way to rank lists. Robin added it. So if you ever have a wish list for Limitless. Let me know. I'll talk about it on the podcast, and then Robin will hear and add it. So, shout outs
That
to
is pretty. It
Robin.
is pretty cool to see though. And Ian Rob's Raging Bolt #1 right now
Look at
on the
that.
list. I was actually kind of surprised to see this one continue to grow because I would have thought that you would like make adjustments to it because it feels like a very adaptable deck. But people are. I guess like we've only like two majors in a row now in America, right? So like maybe that makes sense for people that have not switched off from what Ian had put out the previous
Yeah.
time. It's #2 right now. Is it Hedrick's Bolt?
Dude.
There's something wrong with your computer.
Dude, I've had multiple people tell me that their computer does or their browser does the same thing on Chrome, like where they can't go back.
Honestly,
Or
I think
on Limitless. On Limitless.
you need to download more RAM or something. You're just like RAM capped.
Yeah, probably. Second one, Dragapult by Ted Tobin
Ooh,
here
interesting.
from Utrecht.
Why is Ted getting the nod over Hedrick here? What are the differences in the list? Oh, he had
That's
the
the
Moltres.
Moltres, yeah.
Ted ahead of his time. But is it
Look at
necessary though? Is it necessary? I don't
look at
know.
this is all the people
Yeah,
who played it in Indy.
might not be necessary to tech. Hedrick says no. You don't need it. Just beat him.
No, you definitely need it. As the Hydrapple player, I will tell you, you need the Moltres for sure. And then yeah,
He would be licking
Hedrick's
his
right
lips if you don't have the Moltres.
there.
He was hoping to hit Hedrick the whole tournament. He's like, please give me Hedrick. This is what I
Also, you can look at this through the lens of
this time
uh
period.
yeah, other time periods.
Ooh, so you can look at a whole season, right?
Like this one. Oh, look, no, why did I click this?
Hey, that's right. The
Oh.
optimal Buzz Rock
Yeah, but is it
list.
even your deck?
Yes, what the heck?
Well,
Dude, I got everyone else on Buzz Rock for LAIC that year.
with the
I had been
3
playing that.
strong energy, I remember that was a big deal going to 3 strongs.
Yeah, we also cut the Super Rod for just more basic energy. Because if you just hit your max elixirs, you just win. You just gotta play. You just gotta hit your max elixirs.
Dude, I clicked some random year, and of
Let's
course
go
it's
with another
Azul.
year.
No, I don't want to. 2017. Ooh, Robin. There you
The
go.
Dark Ride Garbodor. What was
Only,
that one?
dude, look at how different the game was, man. 5
Well, there's so many.
entries.
There's so few tournaments. Oh yeah, but I guess it's like you just didn't have the carryover. No one like played the same list that anyone else put out
Yeah.
at different times. Like do like a more do like a
22.
show us all the towards, man. What do we got? Oh no, still not that much. Oh, is that just all from one event? The Palkia event from Christian? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just all all in top 8 or 3 of them in top 8.
Yeah, 3 of them in top 8. Yeah, the ridiculous Palkia tournament.
I gotta go. We gotta jump a year.
Let's do like 24.
23, 24. Ooh, the Reagan
Oh,
Retzloff, of course. One of the this is
there.
like the original how big can the limitless page get deck.
Yes, I remember.
And looking back on it, it's not even that big. Times have changed. In only a couple years too.
And then Hedrick's Dialga Matang deck. Dude, so many believers after
Deck
his
was good for
dub.
one, it was good for one tournament. Then he baited everyone. Insane propaganda feed, bro. Everyone got baited into playing Dialga.
Let's see if we go back here. We're going to see another Azul list anywhere.
Probably not. Oh, I'm third though.
Third.
Why did I get credit?
Oh,
Oh, that was the Reshizard. But there was like 4 of us in top cut at this one.
yeah, it's
Three,
just
four,
taking the
one,
person who
two.
finished the highest.
Yeah, yeah. We're all in top 32. That's not bad.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not even your deck, you know? Like, half of these, dude,
Jimmy
half
does
of
get
these,
okay,
dude.
hold up. Well, I can tell you who gets credit for each one, to be honest with
Okay,
you.
okay. How about this Pikarom list
What was
at
this one?
EUIC?
EUIC. That was all of us. We played with that Pikarom list a lot. We were grinding with that Pikarom list.
Okay.
This one,
Toadzark.
this was like last minute. Dude, Toadzark was a last minute collab. We were just like trying to come up with some control BS. And we came up with
You
Toadzark.
succeeded.
Yeah, at Portland, we were literally sitting in the hallway of a hotel, like in the office area, like just no games. We weren't playing any games. It was all theory. We were like, then we had to like dig through all of our binders and boxes of cards to get all the cards together for I don't
I'm
know 8
amazed you
people
all
or
came
whatever
together
per
with the
deck.
same fossil because there's 2 fossils that have the same thing, right? So how
I
did
think
you
we
all end up with the turtle?
did we all play turtle or did we have different ones?
Everyone here had the turtle.
I think actually at this event, Danny was the only one who didn't make day 2. Wait, scroll down. Let me see the names again. Is there anyone else missing? I think it was literally
Was
we always made
Igor here?
No, we always made fun of him too because we're like the deck was broken and so much better than anything else was playing. How did you not make it
Isaiah?
A2? Isaiah was playing a different. Yeah, Isaiah was there. He was playing. Oh, I think he
Did
was
he
there.
play
Yeah,
the other fossil?
he must have been. Yeah, I think it was on the green one. Lily.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah. Oh no, he played a different deck,
Oh
buddy.
no, he played a different deck. That's right.
Wow, you guys didn't like
Well, he
kill
swears
him
this.
for that?
No, he swears this deck was the better deck. I don't know. The deck was fine.
For those who don't know, Azul and his testing group, it's like they swore by playing the same 60.
Yeah,
It was like a non-negotiable. Everyone played the same 60.
we're all in it together.
What
Apparently,
about
Tanner had this.
Isaiah's first place Zapdos deck?
This was mostly Danny. Although I came up with all the tech card inclusions, like the Orangaroo, the Absol, yeah. Coco's maybe, oh, the Kukuis as well.
Richizard with the
Jimmy.
lax, the double
But
lax.
I will say, Jimmy, this was all Jimmy, but he didn't want to play Dedenne. I was the one who put the Dedenne. The Dedenne was so good. We used it like every other game. We had no Dedenne in the deck. I was like, we're playing Dedenne. If you guys do
What's
not
the
play Dedenne, I
downside of
will play
playing
Dedenne.
Dedenne?
It's a low HP six. It's a low HP Pokemon on your bench. That's it. But it was broken. It was 100% should play the Dedenne. Yeah, we just played that list was mostly because Jimmy came up with like the double Snorlax to just beat all the Zoroark players because there's like a bunch of people playing like the Zoroark Silvally deck and it just destroyed them.
You didn't play this deck to this tournament. This was before you guys
No,
formed
this
the full group, right?
yeah, this deck was pretty broken for this event though. Very good play from Caleb and crew.
And then, oh, this is not your deck, but this was the more popular one. Dang, bro, Florida rolled up with the same 60.
Yeah, what the heck?
It's literally all Florida players.
They knew that was the same. Well, no, what event was that? Dallas? Oh, that was when it first came out, right? That's when
I
the
think it was the first Magikarp Wailord tournament. Yeah.
yeah Caleb got second at that one. We played
Another card to
Zoroark
check your
again.
binder for, by the way.
Apparently, it's $100 card. It is cool to go back and look at those, like the most played or some of the most successful decks from a tournament. I guess like when you look back on some of the older years, it's like the most successful deck from the tournament is what you can look
Mhm.
back on. But now the newer, like click on, let's go up to like 24. What is the one in 24?
Oh, this is because there's no real tournaments.
I'm curious. Like last season.
24. We just did
Oh,
24. You mean
25, 25.
25?
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
Brixty.
By a lot. Oh my gosh.
It does count junior and seniors in here as well.
Inflating the numbers.
Yeah, it's not even close. Holy.
Yeah, it's over double.
It probably would have been a Henry Chow build of Gardevoir, but he never played the same 60. You know, like
Yeah.
he was always adding, changing one card, whatever, right?
Yeah. I was trying to get an edge. And it felt like it was like necessary for Gardevoir. As opposed to something like well, I felt
Unless
like
you
his
played the
Gardevoir.
Brixty.
Yeah, unless you played the Brixie, I guess. That's true. It's a good call. It's a good call out.
All right. Well, we do have a couple tournaments to talk about for this coming week. Oh my gosh, dude, we didn't even finish our predictions for.
Yep.
Dude, talk about a tangent. Holy. All right, pick a non-Dragapult deck to make cut. Azul went with the Zoark.
Ice Spice and Zork was I
Not
don't know if I want
good.
to know. Dude, come on. Wait, what did Liam play at this tournament?
Zoark, I think.
Someone said it was Zork with Mega Frostlass. Is that true?
We can find out. Liam did tweet he went 0-3 drop.
Oh, it was Frostlass. It wasn't Mega Frostlass.
Yeah.
Control Zoroark. There's a lot going on here, man. There's a lot going on. Although I am excited with Zoroark with red card now, because now you can play a disruption card, and then the Scoop Cyclone just feels better. I think Unfair Stamp has been the better way to play Zoroark. But now the Scoop Cyclone can get in there another way special red card.
And yeah, I picked the Raging Bolt, which was, of course, correct, but a little bit of a
Cop out,
cop out of an answer. It's fine. It's fine.
I don't know. There's a lot of Dragapults in there. Only so many other decks can fit, so you gotta make a little bit of a gamble.
Yeah.
And then yeah, our final prediction was pick a player to make cuts. Honestly, I'm kind of glad I did pick Shemansky. Did play like a cool, different deck to the tournament. Didn't have the greatest run. Did make phase 2 with the Kangaskhan box. No top cut on that one. And then you picked Hale, who I don't think was at the event.
No, Hale was not there. I already looked on Limitless earlier.
So I had a better odds of winning this prediction than you, but Shemansky didn't get there this time.
And we do have a couple tournaments coming up this weekend. The Turin Special Championships. with Chaos Rising legal. Then the Japan Championships with Pitch Black legal, or whatever their name of the set is.
This eye.
Abyss Eye.
Uh, we can start with Japan, I think. Um,
Should we start
talk
with
about
turn because it's the closer to current format?
sure. Start return. Start return. So they get Mega Greninja, they get the Beedrill. This is where I would have an opinion on stuff had I been streaming the set for the last week, but I haven't. So I don't have a strong take on much, to be honest. But
We're gonna do what is the highest placing Mega Greninja going to be. Also, another factor with this is it is the special championships. It's not a regionals,
yeah,
so there will be less top level players at it compared to normal regionals. There will also be top level players willing to play something that's a little sillier because there's less on the line. There's no money on the line. People already
might
have their
use it
invites
as
locked
a
up
they might use it as a testing ground even for NAIC.
for some silly idea or something. And also,
Yeah.
that's another thing as well. NAIC, just a week removed from this, is Tord going to play his NAIC 60 to the Turn Special Championships? No shot, right?
He might just not even be there, to be honest. He might already be in North America. He might be trying to get like that jet lag prep taken care of. Um
All
I was
things
gonna
to
say
consider.
we could actually see look out on the there could be some people who like this could be like the one time ever someone could be like 6-0 and they'd be like, you know what? My deck's really good. I'm just gonna go ahead and drop because I don't want people to know what this is that I'm gonna say
That's
for
not
NASD.
happening.
It could happen. I'm just saying it could happen. If you're that confident. Maybe not though, probably not. But if you ever were to see it, highest placing Mega Greninja, I'm going top 8. Come on, it's got to be good.
Azul's locking in the top 8. Ah! I haven't even been looking at online tournaments to see how well it's been doing. All I have to go off of is Japan, where it has not been doing that well. So I'm going to give it a top 32.
So boring.
Next one. How many special red card in cut? How many actual physical copies of the card will there be in top
Um,
cuts? Does every deck have to play this card?
no, I think it's what we saw from Japan, right? There was not that many in the top cut when we had a similar prediction for like the last or was the last Champions League or the one before that one?
They've
I
both
think
been in the same format, I think, right?
yeah, but it was the one where it released. Oh
Yeah,
no, they both yeah,
Osaka.
so it was the first one, yeah. There wasn't that many special red cards. It feels like it should have been played at a higher rate though. That's kind of how I felt about it. Um I think it should be played in most decks as well. Like that the card is just really good. Obviously, like when you get to play it is a little weird.
Yeah, I'm a little bit less like convinced on it, I think, than you, as
You know.
like every deck should play it type mentality.
Most decks probably won't, very few decks will play two. So I'm gonna go with are we going in top cut, so that's
In
including
top
asymmetry.
cut.
I wish I knew how many players are at this event. That'd be easier, maybe help call the number of players in code. If it's like 11 or 12, between 10 and 12, which is where it feels like we usually fall, 10 and 11. I'm just gonna go with a special red card and cut. Maybe
I'm
it'll
gonna
be
say 5.
all right, all right.
And then on to the Japan Championships where they've got Pitch Black
I will say before
legal
we go
slash
there,
Abyss Eye. Okay, okay,
I
okay.
am the two cards I'm most excited to like see be played from this weekend is definitely Prism Tower, and I doubt we'll see it, but Book of Transformation if someone figures something out with Book of Transformation.
Did you see the
Uh,
turn 1 Mega Zygarde deck?
no, how do you get there?
Uh you you Blood Moon energy into play,
Oh,
and then Iron Leaves to move the energy to the Iron Leaves, and then transform into the Mega Zygarde turn 1 Mega Zygarde attack.
with a couple grass energy, or how's
No,
the
Iron Leaves
oh
absorbs energies.
double baby?
Yeah.
Wait, we're not actually doing that turn one.
There was something else to juice the energy in play that I might be forgetting.
Another juicer.
Maybe not. There must be.
Yeah, so those are the cards I'm most like looking forward. I think we'll see Prism Towers on stream for sure. Very good
Oh,
card. Okay, yeah.
Trumpet.
So
It was
Prism
Trumpet,
Towers
Baby Blood Moon.
from Terra.
Mhm.
Yeah, so Prism Tower, excited to see that. It would be cool to see Book of Transformation. I'm not like hold on. Hopefully we see some Mega Credential on stream. Every time in the Japan Championships for the last 2 or 3 of them, however many it is that Greninja's been legal, The Greninja decks get on stream, and they never put a Mega Greninja in play. They just get the fighting one in play, or they get none in play. So it's been very disappointing so far from the not Japan Championships, from the Champions League. Japan Championships is coming up, but yeah, those are the cards I'd be most excited to see work on stream. I guess we'll see what comes out though. But yeah, I don't have a strong opinion on any of the stuff. Hopefully, Beedrill's good. Hopefully, Mega Greninja's good, but who knows?
All right, now on to the Japan Championships. What will be the highest placing pitch black card?
Yeah, I mean, I think mine's gonna be a little bit of a oh no, there's one that's probably a little bit more of a cop out here because people have been playing it in Dragapult, but I'm gonna go with
I know what you're picking. The Tea Party
oh,
deck
hang
or
on.
whatever.
I'm gonna pick the Delmise specifically as my card.
What's the name of the thing?
Hang on, I'll tell it to you. Dark Bell.
Dark Bell. What? No, that's not what I'm picking.
Oh,
What?
what are you picking?
I was asking what the name of the deck is.
Oh, Ghost Veil.
Well, we yeah, I guess that's what it is there at least.
Oh yeah, I mean, because all the ability. Well, what card are you picking?
Um,
I think Dark Bell's the cop out answer, but
no, I'm gonna pick Slowbro.
ooh, okay, but that's nice. I like that.
I'm going with the Slowbro. I don't really think it's gonna be real. The Dark Bell is not that good. What are you talking about?
But people are playing it in Dragapult apparently, bro. I don't know. That's what I heard. You confuse
Dude,
their
it's
Dragapult and
literally
unfair
Team
symptom.
Yellhorn, man. It's Team Yellhorn. It's the same card.
Yeah, but it's a different time.
Uh,
Team Yellhorn would be broken right now if we had that. We have to wait for Dark Bell.
And then finally, we're gonna do this one for Japan. Pick a player to make cut.
Oh, he's gonna do it 3 in a row. No, it's not 3 in a row. No, yeah, let's go with this one. 3 in a row. Yoshiyuki Arai. He's made back-to-back top 16s, I believe. I'm gonna go a step further. I'm gonna say he's gonna win the whole thing.
I'm gonna pick someone who has been traveling to our events, who is trying to lock up their world's invite, and I think is gonna be very motivated by that and have a good, solid tournament run. I'm gonna go with Daichi.
That's what he last season. That's what he did. He had to get top 32, and they put him on stream for his win in round.
Yep. So I'm gonna go with Daichi Shimada.
And it's so criminal that so many great players in the game just can't get their worlds in. It's so hard to get your worlds invite in Japan. It's so insane how hard it like so many great players just don't go to worlds every year from Japan because their system is just flawed. And they're literally traveling to multiple regionals to try and get there to win the tournament to get their worlds invite.
Yeah.
Insane. Insane.
Well, I think that is it for our episode this week. We'll recap all these predictions on our episode next week. Next week's episode will likely come out a day earlier than normal. And we will also be doing, of course, our annual tradition, or I guess quarterly, or our regular tradition of doing a tier list ahead of the North American International Championships. We will both be there. I'll be there casting. Azul will be there playing.
Allegedly.
Why are you smiling,
Yeah,
dude?
no, I just it's just a bit. No,
Dude,
I
so
will
many
be
people
there.
this weekend asked me, like, "Oh, dude, where's Azul at? Or did Azul come to this one?" I'm like, my response every time was, "Nah, man, he doesn't play anymore."
I was literally just in Melbourne playing. I got top 32 with Honstro.
Yeah. Yeah, you are not gonna get top 32 at NAIC with Honchkrow, that is for sure. Or
Probably
was
could. I
What
probably
odds
could.
do you give yourself to get your invite now? You gotta get top 4, right? It's top 4 or bust for
Yeah,
your
top 4
invite.
bus. I don't know, like 10%.
I think that's what you said when you still had Melbourne on the docket.
8%.
It hasn't decreased that much.
A little bit.
You gotta lock in, but you got any inkling of a deck you want to play?
I don't want to play Mega Greninja, but there's obviously a little bit to cook there.
You
I've
got a
already got some
week.
ideas. Yeah. Got a week. Starts tomorrow. Playing with all the new cards. I mean, there's just so much,
Grinding.
man. I feel like so much stuff gets unlocked by Prism Tower as well. Like, I don't know.
I think you're
A
gonna
lot of
play
things
a
to
little
try
bit
out.
and realize that card is not that good.
Dude, that card is insanely good. You're capping.
I think you're gonna play and realize that the card is not that good.
Pretty good. Really good card. Prism Tower. Broken card.
You'll learn. It's okay.
Right.
You'll get there, buddy. Those of us who've been playing the game. All right. Well, that is it for our episode this week. Anything else, Azul, before we get to our bonus episode?
Um, I'll be watch partying. I have to like decide. I mean, I could try and do it all. Sounds a little risky because day one of the Japan Championship starts on Friday, and then Turin. Yeah, I don't know. I have to decide how I'm gonna manage my time with everything. I might skip day one of Turin. I might not watch day one of Turin, but I'll tune in for day. mm, see. I might not watch Party Turin. I'll probably watch Party Japan Championships, but Turin I might not watch Party Turin. We'll see. Because it's just like it is Japan Championships into Turin through midnight my time.
Don't kill
So
yourself right before NAIC
yeah, I
with your
see.
sleep
Yeah, yeah.
schedule. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'll definitely be tuning into the Japan Championships though, I think. And then I'll make a judgment call on whether I'm gonna watch Turn at all. Turn is being streamed, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's already up on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, because I just went to Pokemon.com/broadcast and it shows NAIC. So
Well,
I
that
second guessed it.
is
If it's on
probably
the
not
YouTube
how it
channel,
should
that's
be.
if it's on the YouTube channel, then yeah, it's safe to say it is being streamed. So yep.
Well, thanks as always to everyone for listening. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave us a like, review, rating, comment, subscribe. Easiest, fastest way to support us. Lets us know you're enjoying it and helps more people to discover the cast as well. If you want to stay up to date with us, the best place to do it is over on X. You can follow myself at Chip Ritchie, Azul at AzulGG, and you can also follow the podcast at uncommon_energy.
Yeah, good luck to everyone competing this weekend in Japan or Turn. Where's Turn?
Spain?
Is it? Did you know? You that was a long pause. Italy.
Dang it, bro.
Good luck to everyone competing this weekend.
Why did you
Catch
ask
y'all.
that?
Well, I was just curious. I was like, "Where is it?" I was like, "I didn't know where it was." I was like, "I didn't
I,
know where it was."
I didn't think Spain was right.
Interesting. Still said anyways. All right. Catch y'all next Wednesday, 7 a.m. Eastern.
Nope.
Yep.
Tuesday, probably.
Tuesday, probably.